The Federal Communications Commission has determined the following content to be emotionally harmful.
Funny things that you think's funny aren't funny.
Give me talks all the time. I want talks all over me.
The Alan Cox Show kicks ass, man.
Welcome.
Show me what you got.
You're not going to see a lot of cocks on TV.
Alan Cox from the Alan Cox Show.
I don't know what it's about you, but I can't even stand your voice.
I think you're the biggest asshole alive.
It's going to be a great show.
Let's kick it. I'll say kick it, and you'll just kick it with a tasty groove, okay? 1, 2, 3, kick it. Kick it. Come on. God damn it. Put you one time. Kick it. What the?
Alan Cox.
Here we go. He'll ad-lib. He'll be fine.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Hey, what's going on, gang? Good afternoon. Hi there. Greetings. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. Now, that's a lead-in. Some crew up in this piece. My name is Alan Cox. Thank you for showing up. Say hi to Bill Squire, who is over there.
Hey, creepy hugs, everyone. Thanks for listening to and watching this episode of the Alan Cox Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share a cold one with the boys.
Hey, there's Mary Santora.
Hi, guys. No babies.
Getting them feet's worked on.
Oh, my God. So annoyed.
Poundcake's back behind the glass.
Happy Taco Tuesday, white people.
Oh, it is a Taco Tuesday.
Hey, switch it up. Good job, bud.
Hey, Taco Tuesday. Will you be enjoying some tacos?
I got some from downstairs.
Oh, yeah? I've
Yeah.
never had any of their tacos. I've only gotten their wraps. The tacos are good?
Yeah,
Really? They make them, or
they
you
make
makes
the
them.
shell by dude. It's crazy.
No, but you
Everything
still have
is
to walk
homemade.
over and put all the stuff in?
No, they
Oh.
make them for you.
Okay.
And it's like a different one every week.
I'm actually disappointed.
Oh, they have a taco and you order their
yes,
taco.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes.
I'm actually disappointed that we're leaving because now, I mean, I know we have more options downtown, but like I got
That cafe
accustomed
is
to-
good.
It's
I got
so good.
accustomed to that spot.
Yeah.
And now we're leaving.
They're
Speaking of
homemade
leaving,
chips.
do you know what today is?
Today is August 9th.
Yes. Yeah. If you were going to say it would have been my parents' 53rd wedding anniversary, you're correct.
Oh,
So
Whitney
speaking
Houston's
of
birthday.
It is
Speaking of leaving, today is
1 week.
our last Tuesday in this studio.
Whoa!
Yay!
Tomorrow will be our last Wednesday
We can do this every
in
day.
the studio. Saturday will be our last, like we're not in here day. Sunday, well, that's Sunday, I guess, will be our last. They've informed us that 1 week from today, if everything goes according to plan, will be our first show in the new studios downtown at 668 Euclid Avenue in the heart of downtown Cleveland,
Love it.
Ohio. Oh, boy, if you had told a young Alan Cox in Catholic school in Chicago, Illinois, that someday he would reach the heights of a career that would take him all over this nation and land him on the ground floor of a residential condominium building in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, I would have never believed it. I would have never believed it.
No.
Who could possibly shoot that high? Who could possibly imagine a life like that for themselves?
That's crazy.
So next Tuesday is supposed to be our first show in the new studios. So now I am assuming that first day will be a complete shrimp show. So definitely tune in. If you've also been preparing by, I don't know, sunning your cheeks in anticipation for pressing them up against the window during the show, your time is also coming. So just something to consider.
Have they had any instances of that yet?
Don't know.
Being down there?
I asked Nolan, and he said nothing like that yet, but he's on in the morning.
I was going to say,
A
the
little
morning is a
early
different
for that.
crowd.
Yeah.
People still having their mimosas and are jolly.
On a Tuesday morning, people are still having their mimosas, yes.
People have mimosas on Tuesdays? You never heard the song Going Up on a Tuesday?
No. Here's my question. We took my mother-in-law to brunch over the weekend for her birthday, and the place that we went had peach mimosas on the menu. I thought a peach mimosa was a Bellini.
No, something is different that makes it a Bellini.
Yes, peach nectar instead of A mimosa is
Is that
orange.
it? I thought there
Orange
was-
juice and champagne is your traditional mimosa. I thought swapping out the peach made it the Bellini.
Or anything else other than orange juice is a Bellini. I actually think Alan's right on this
Bellini
one.
had extra liquor in it. I thought it had like not Cointreau, but
Bellini is
something like
Prosecco
that.
and peach nectar.
Oh, maybe not.
I just thought it was. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was probably their way of saying, "Hey, we don't just do mimosa is orange juice and champagne.
Prosecco.
A Bellini is peach pure and prosecco.
So that's the difference.
So their peach Bellini. Wait a second, their peach mimosa was peach and champagne. They swapped out the prosecco.
They didn't use Prosecco. They used regular champagne.
All right, so they are two different things.
Yeah.
I was thinking
I knew
you
they were
just
different.
that you're smart. You were a bartender. I never was.
Yeah.
I was just a casual drinker. Still am. I was never concocting them for anyone. Right. I was never making them. I might reach behind the bar if I was at a friend's establishment and make myself a drink. But I was never back there. Slinging the suds is what they called it.
I just assumed.
Who's they?
The proverbial they.
You know,
the non-binary
all them
they,
people.
Mary.
All of them.
They call it slinging suds. What, Cody?
I just assume people get lazy and they're like, yeah, it's a Bellini. I just put champagne and just a different juice in there. Like, yep, Bellini. It's fine. We're all out of Prosecco. You're going to get what we give you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, peach puree, though, is delicious.
I don't really like
So,
peaches that much.
You don't like peaches.
Peaches, mangoes. Those are the two that I don't prefer.
Just those two.
Those two. No,
Pretty much all other fruit I enjoy.
no allergy issues or anything
No,
like that?
just kiwi is what I'm allergic to.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. Mango for sure. I've tried to eat mango a lot, but peaches, I don't know if it's maybe that they're so like veiny.
Yeah! Veiny.
Do you know what I mean? They're like stringy almost.
Peaches?
Yeah, the texture of peaches are a little.
I think it depends on
strange.
how ripe they are. I like my peaches the consistency of an apple.
You wanted to crunch?
Yes.
A mealy crunch?
My parents did not purchase a lot of like in-season fruit. So, yeah, we had a lot of crunchy peaches, the kind where you cut them in half and then you twist each side to get the stone out. Those were the kinds, those were the kind of peaches we had in the Cox family growing up. But here's my concern now, given allergies, Bill, and you and I have talked about this. I was planning a celebratory new studio dinner for the show here, but I was going to make my famous lobster stuffed with kiwi.
Why would you
And
do
now I'm concerned that with all of your allergy issues, both with shellfish and with kiwi,
You guys can
that
eat
you
that.
won't be able.
Right, and if we can get some ass milk in time, maybe
Yeah.
Mary will be cured and we can all enjoy.
You haven't had fun until you've spent a Sunday right around noon with me when I'm drinking ass milk Bellinis.
Ugh.
Because I will tell you one thing.
Milk and Prosecco.
Oh, it's got a nice curdle to it.
Gross.
We get some peach puree in there.
Yeah, you guys can enjoy
Get some of that donkey milk.
You can enjoy that dinner.
How could we possibly if it's something you can't eat?
Or just sit far away from you.
No, we can't do
Have
that.
some
I'll
French
have to.
fries or something.
Yeah,
I'll
what
have
if
to
we
com-
get into a playful food fight? Then you're in big
Playful
trouble.
lobster food fight. I forgot Alan's a millionaire. I didn't know he had it like that.
Yes, of course.
Well, you know, at an event like that, you're going to be goofing around. We're all going to be very jovial. And then all of a sudden, someone makes a little joke and you go, oh, you. And you throw like a little something at them. And then all of a sudden, it just starts
escalates.
flying.
Well, it escalates. First, it starts with a little hand rub on the hair. Yeah, I oughta. And then it's the head through the arms. It's the neck thing. And then
Headlock.
you rub the headlock. And then you give them the noogie. And then the head through the arms thing is what
The
we
neck
call it.
thing.
Yeah, the neck thing. Yeah, former wrestler here. And then it escalates to the... I only do lobster food fights. That's how well off I am. Yes, I know. I'm so wealthy that when somebody says food fight, and fundamentally I hate food fights. I don't even like watching food fights on movies or television because all I can think of is someone has to clean that up.
Yeah.
That's the psychosis of my brain. I can't enjoy the fun, theoretically. Doesn't seem like fun to me, but I get it. All I can think is someone has to clean that up, right?
Yeah.
Like when they'll do, I'm giving away GWAR tickets all week, right? Love GWAR. All I can think of is somebody has to clean all that
These
up.
poor minimum wage
These
venue
House of
employees.
Blues employees, of which you were one
Yeah.
100 years ago,
I didn't
they
work
have
in
to.
the venue.
No, but you worked there.
Yeah.
They were your compatriots.
Yeah.
They were your comrades. And they got to clean that stuff up. But I only have lobster food fights. So it's just.
I want to be you one
Is
day.
it expensive? Of course. Do you really want to be me? Absolutely
Are
not.
the lobsters live, or are they already? Their meat has already been taken from the shell.
It's a mix.
Oh,
Yep. Ooh. Some of them are live, and you'll know when they're live when you get one thrown in your face.
Clamps on.
Yes, because it will pinch you. Yes, I had to explain lobster to my daughter because she always wants, when we go grocery shopping, she always wants to visit the tank.
Where do you go grocery shopping that has a lobster tank?
Giant Eagle.
What? Where?
Back in this, they all have them.
Yeah, they do.
Science does too.
Yes, they do.
A lobster tank?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Where do you go where they don't have a lobster tank?
Berea?
Well, they have a
I don't
Giant
think
Eagle,
Eagle's hard
don't they?
enough. I think they do.
If you go back
in the
That's where I
seafood.
go at Giant Eagle.
Yeah,
I
and
guess
they-
I don't go to the seafood section
If
ever.
you know-
'cause
it's
have to
It's
get
right
it
next to
for
the
me.
butcher.
Right.
Like
it's just in the deli. There's a
it
seafood
blends right
section
in.
next to the meat.
You don't even think of it.
And there's a lobster tank right there.
Really?
It doesn't look like an aquarium. It's not all lit up and made to look pretty, but it's just like there.
At every Giant Eagle.
At
Well,
most, I
everyone
think.
I've been to has had a lobster tank because I'm constantly refilling my lobsters for the food fights at my house. I'm constantly purchasing lobsters.
Why don't you just buy a pelican?
What the hell does that have to do with
It'll
anything?
eat up all the lobster for you.
I didn't know pelicans eat
Duh.
lobsters.
How could I have forgotten about the pelican brief?
You know, pelicans.
That's what's in it.
Are just always eating up lobsters in front of everybody.
That's what they do. That's why their gullet is so large.
That's why they're considered the wealthiest birds.
The Alan Cox Show.
The official show of those weirdos who ride shotgun with their bare feet on the dashboard.
You're a weirdo, but let's do this.
On 100.7.
WMMS.
Two 216-578-1007 if you want to join us live. 800-348-1007. 35192. Send me a text there if you're listening on the iHeartRadio app. You can leave messages there as well. Guardians play tonight in Detroit. They had last night off, first of 3 against the Tigers, who are, they're not a great team this season. They're struggling. But they had a hell of a run against the Guardians last time. Last couple times they played them. They've done pretty well against Cleveland, so we'll see. 7:10 tonight on MMS as we get into the last handful of weeks in Major League Baseball. Franmil Reyes goes to the Chicago Cubs, by the way. Franmil. You don't meet a lot of Franmils.
No. He's the only one I've ever heard.
Well, listen, for those of you maybe you're expecting and you just can't agree, you got the girl's name figured out. It's going to be Hilda. But you can't come up with the guy's name, you know? He wants to name the kid after, you don't know, right? It's going to be a surprise. You don't know if it's going to be a boy or girl, but you got to have it figured out. He wants to name it after his great-grandfather that he never met, but it's a nod to his family, and he wants to do right by them. She wants to name the kid after a character from one of her favorite television shows. It's very of the moment, but it's going to age out and not very well. Franmil. Split the difference. Franmil.
And how is that splitting the difference?
Does it matter if the last name's Berkheimer or anything like that? Nothing's going to go well with Berkheimer anyway. Franmil Berkheimer.
Jerry.
Go with, huh?
Jerry Berkheimer.
Jerry Bruckheimer? Is
No.
that what you're talking
Berkheimer.
about? Famed producer Jerry Berkheimer.
Yeah,
It'd be
he
great if you
made,
meet that guy. Oh my God, Jerry Berkheimer. Oh, I love your movies.
Yeah.
Top Gun.
Pirates of the Indian Ocean.
Pirates of the Indian Ocean. Pirates of the Black Sea. Yeah. So, anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. Guardians Tigers tonight, 7:10 here on WMMS. Boy, the San Diego Padres thought that they had it all lined up. They had Manny Machado. They got Juan Soto from the Nationals, right? They're like, they got Mike Clevenger out there. They are gonna be killing everybody. They haven't scored in 23 innings. Padres got some ice-cold bats right now.
But their fans are having a good time.
Fans are having a great time. Why not? If you're living in San Diego, you're out there, you're like, if this doesn't work out, I'll go surfing.
Did you see the fight?
I did see the fight. But that's a talented team. It's just a weird team right now. So if they, if they have to go on the road for some wild card games, who knows what will happen? But they were seriously lining everything up. It's too late in this season, though, right? You got to plan for next season. They're planning for next season. There's always next year. How long has that been the mantra here in Cleveland? Or any city that has subpar returns on their professional sports? There's always next year. That's right. Sewage overflows into Lake Erie at Edgewater Beach last night. Boy, there were huge storms coming through. We've talked about this before.
Oh, my God.
Mary, as a point of order, poo-poos the notion. She thinks that the sun rises and sets, as it actually does, on Edgewater Beach, but she turns a blind eye to the waves of poop that might happen out there when the public advisories are issued by our friends at the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District.
That's exactly what you said.
No, it isn't. I said if you pay attention and you don't go when the red poop flag is out, and you go when the green no poop flag is out, then you're going to be fine. Don't swim in the poop water.
You said you can swim there every day, even in the winter.
I never said that.
You said that.
You said you were out there surfing the waves of poop. You were sailing the seas of cheese, as it were.
The pure cup is what you use to style your hair. I remember it like it was yesterday.
You called it a poo maid.
Nope.
I can't remember the last time I've been to the beach.
I can. New Jersey, a couple of weeks ago.
Interesting.
It was phenomenal. You can't remember the last time you were at the beach? Go today.
No,
Go after the show.
I got stuff to do. I'm following Bill to the new studio.
You're following him? You know where the new studios are.
No,
right?
I do.
We're going down there, and I'm going to show him a few things.
You're going down there tonight?
Yeah.
What are you going to show him?
Well, I'm going to do my podcast, and I'm going to show him.
Well,
I know.
I have never worked the equipment there, the new equipment.
All you'll have to work is the phone screening.
Understandable, but I might want to do my podcast from there as well.
I see.
So I want to do some things.
Just don't. Well, you're not going to do it from that room. You do it from another room.
I'm following. I'm just going to look at what Bill's doing. I'm not going to touch anything.
Yeah, don't touch anything.
I'm still afraid to touch
don't
things.
Don't screw up my room before I get in there.
But to what
Nolan and I have to share that room. Think of us. For once in your life, don't think of yourself. Think of me. Don't screw up that room before I get in there.
I'll think of you all
Don't
night.
touch anything. Don't even think of me when you're touching yourself.
Okay,
can't tell me what to do.
From now on, I won't.
Can't tell me what to do.
I don't even know what Bill's doing in there. Just don't touch anything.
It's what I do. It's where I do my podcast.
I know. I don't know what you're doing in there.
I'm putting the volume up and then talking. It's very simple.
All right.
It's not a lot of...
These boards are unnecessarily complicated, and there's going to be a learning curve on them.
They are.
For everything I need to
That's
do.
why I want to go beforehand, because I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Well, you watched the videos, didn't you?
I did watch the videos, but that literally...
I know. They're very, very...
I had more questions after the videos were done.
I know. Same. I go, how could those be so low on information and so utterly complicated?
And it was so funny because they had like...
But we'll learn. It's fine. It's brand new stuff. We'll learn it. It'll be fine. But, for the first couple of weeks, I got to get my sea legs down there.
I almost thought about it because the one guy on the video is from Chicago, and I'm friends with him on Facebook. And I was
Brady
like...
Broski?
Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to ask it. Like, no, don't ask. Don't ask about the board. Because they just did it so calm.
He barely looked like he knew what he was doing.
They all just looked so calm.
Get in here and make a video. He's like, okay. And then we push this, and then we put this, and then we got to push this twice, and then we'll push this. I'm like, come on.
I know. But about the rain and thunderstorms last night, you were not joking. I was leaving here from the gym, and I nearly crashed.
Say it like that.
Cause
the gym.
Yeah, why do you say it like that?
Because it makes me cry.
Why?
Because it just makes me cry.
What did you work on last night? Was it leg day?
I I jogged 4 miles.
How was that in the gym?
Because I did it in a gym.
You did it on the treadmill.
I did it on the treadmill.
I see.
So yeah, I just jogged 4 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my steps in, and then I'm like, all right, well, I'll see.
How long did that take you?
I pump it up to 5 or 4.
Do you do it on an
miles.
incline?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I do it. So I do a mile every 15 minutes.
That's great.
So yeah, I do it within an hour. It's just an hour working out. It's not horrible. Okay. I was going to do it tonight, but again, I'm going downtown. But when I left, I was like, okay, what healthy meal am I going to have for dinner today? And I walk out, I was like, why is it so dark? It's only 8 o'clock. And then I was like, oh. And so I got on the highway, everyone's putting their hazards on, and there's a stupid truck coming by and just whooshing. Oh, same sound.
Yeah, but that one kind of fit.
Hydroplaning.
That one's okay.
I'm like, I don't have time for this. I was just so irritable.
What did you have to get to? Home?
Home.
I don't have time for
My
this. You're
legs
going
hurt.
home to nothing.
I was hungry. I was going to stop at Chipotle, but I was like, I don't even want to do it anymore. I just want to go home and order something.
Oh, boy. Mm-hmm. And so what did you order?
It was Liquid Planet.
Smoothie place.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they got good pitas and stuff.
Okay, well, good.
Stupid.
See, you gotta... None of it's any fun, but you got to think of the end result.
I know.
You got to think of that sweet $200 you're going to get from one Mary Lynn Santora.
Mm-hmm.
But the money...
That's what you got to... The end goal.
I understand that, but like...
Do you find yourself more motivated by having a bad attitude or by having a good attitude?
A bad attitude.
Okay.
I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I get to be mean today.
You can't...
because
I get to be mean. You can't motivate... Well, I guess you can motivate yourself with a bad attitude.
I have a reason.
Spite.
Yeah, I have a reason to be spiteful, and I'm mean. And when people...
But you're already that way.
I'm not.
Why don't you use your exercise journey to improve your state of mind?
I'm trying. I'm really trying. But like, again,
That's all we can ask.
The $200 is not motivating me. Me being skinny is motivating me. But when I get on the scale, after I just like walked 4 miles and it's just like 189, I'm like,
did you think you were going to lose weight after walking an hour on the treadmill? How many calories did you burn?
Like 900.
No, you didn't. Not walking for an hour. Did you burn 900?
Like
you probably
like
burned
400.
275
I was
calories.
like 400.
Okay.
Probably.
Did you eat more than 400 calories yesterday?
No, because well,
yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I mean,
you're not in a calorie deficit.
I thought you meant like after that meal. I'm saying I didn't hit my calories for the day.
Do you weigh yourself every time you get off the treadmill?
Yes.
And you expect to be 5 pounds lighter?
I'm like, let me go poop real quick and let me see if.
Well, that would do it more than walking on a treadmill for an hour would.
Yeah. No. I just gotta stick with it.
Just weigh yourself when Mary weighs you. Have you weighed him this week?
No, I did because I don't think it's necessary every week for 4 months.
I was saying it's going to be a pound.
I want you guys to do it every week. That's for our entertainment.
Okay, we can do it every week.
So that we can keep a record of where he is. How often are we going to weigh him?
I was thinking once a month.
Once a month?
I think once a week.
It's 3 months away.
Once a week.
Once a week, I don't care.
Okay, fine. But then someone has to bring in a scale downtown.
There's a gym right in our building.
We have to. It's not in our building. It's like around on the other side of Prospect.
Yeah, walk where we park. You go, bro, let me use your scale. He goes, you have a membership? Shut up. Let me use your scale. I'm not going to pay you $10 a month to use your scale, dummy.
See.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
That's fine.
Or I'll bring a scale from home.
Fine.
It's going to be real cumbersome to carry, though, because it's one of those big, tall ones with the weights on.
Yeah.
He's feeling about 1.
This is
87 today.
87.
Let me just stand on you.
So you're at what now?
I was at 189 last night.
189, okay.
Because I told Mary, because she told me because I was crash dieting, all the weight that I had will come back.
But you're going to lose more weight if you lift. You don't have to power lift. You're going to lose more weight if you lift weights.
Right. But
than if you walk on the treadmill.
This is also someone who has zero gym experience. So let him start here.
But what I'm saying is
4 months.
What I'm saying for a guy who's weighing himself after he gets off the treadmill, he would actually see a change more quickly if he lifted.
Well, yes, but not you're always going to weigh more after a workout. Always. You weigh more after you work out than you do before.
I'm just talking about he clearly wants to see some kind of change, and if he's not seeing it on the scale, he would at least see it incrementally if he was lifting.
Lifting will change your body faster than cardio 100% of the time. But do you know how to lift on your own? Like, are you comfortable going into a gym and knowing exercises to do on your own?
Yeah, pick up a weight and lift it.
No, you can get really hurt.
He's not going to get hurt. He's going to have 10-pound weights.
Right, but if he's not doing it correctly and then he busts his shoulder, now he can't do anything for 2 weeks.
You think he's going to look
YouTube.
like the balloon guy outside a car delership?
I don't know. I don't know his level of experience.
I do it on YouTube.
Yeah, with all the gay dudes he follows on social media, you don't think he knows how to lift?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what his gym experience is.
You've lifted weights before, correct?
I have lifted weight before. So I'm not.
There you go.
I'm not a pro.
Wait, not weights. Just weight.
One weight.
He has lifted a weight.
It was a weight, and then I said, "Wait, I'm not done. I can't do it."
Wait, don't lift me. All right. Anyway,
what about push-ups?
There was sewage overflow.
That's good.
Push-ups are great.
Okay, maybe I'll do push-ups.
Yeah. Or if there's a rowing machine at the gym or something like that. Rowing machine's dynamite. That works everywhere.
So hard. What?
Are you okay?
What?
She's like,
stretching.
She's like a lion over there. She's like yawning and stretching.
I didn't make a noise.
Huh?
I kept it quiet. I didn't make a noise. I was like, whoa.
By the way, they say this is the first time in exactly a year that the overflow has happened at Edgewater Park. So if you're down there, that Detroit Shoreway area, and Edgewater Beach is your preferred area, you had a good year. You had a whole year until poop. The combination of sewage and stormwater exceeded the capacity of the 25-year-old system. Beachgoers are asked to avoid contact with the water and woody debris. I don't know who this woody debris guy is.
Oh, you know.
But if
he was supposed to help out with the live stream today, and he didn't show up.
That son of a beach.
Busy.
So, yeah.
So then we had to get Flory Denog.
Who?
Flory Denog.
Flory Denog. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's a name.
Mm-hmm. It sure is.
Certainly is a name. Alan Cox Show After Hours line. If you want to call, you can anytime. It's 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan, on Monday's show, Poundcake just asked, there must have been some conspiracies Alex Jones was correct about. You guys said no, there wasn't. There was a few, actually. Just to name some, he called out the Bilderberg Group when mainstream media said it didn't exist. Biggest one, before Snowden even came out with this, he said the NSA was spying on all of us, which ended up being true. He exposed Bohemian Grove. So there are some, not that I condone, obviously, what he did in terms of the parents of Sandy Hook, but there are some that he was correct about. Hate the show. Bye.
Bye. I don't know what that guy's talking about. Alex Jones didn't uncover any. You can't uncover something that has a Wikipedia page.
What, the Bohemian Grove?
Bohemian Grove people knew about. Bilderberg meeting has been around since the 50s. That's the thing with Alex Jones, is he sells it. He sells it. He packages it in a way. Operation Paperclip. The stuff from the 50s that everybody... You're taking advantage of the public's ignorance about history is what you're doing. You're not uncovering anything. And you have InfoWars bookmarked, but not Google? How does that happen?
As soon as they passed the Patriot Act, everybody knew that we were getting spied on all the time.
And who didn't think we were anyway? He uncovered Bohemian Grove. No, didn't.
They had never had footage from inside of
That's not uncovering it. But to me, uncovering is, here's something none of you know exists.
But no one knew what they did in there. They were just like, it's a big campground for rich people. They never actually got to see a meeting there.
So what?
It's like a bunch of crazy rituals and stuff. It's scary.
It's all nonsense.
They have a big owl there, and they light it on fire, and they do stuff.
They light an owl on fire. He uncovered the ceremonial lighting of the owl.
It's the Illuminati.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Shit, crap gay. Frogs friggin'
It's the other thing that some people said he was right about. He wasn't right about there was a pesticide that was castrating male frogs and essentially turning them female. But to Alex Jones, that means they're gay.
Gay frogs.
Right? If you make something more feminine, that makes it gay.
Can they do that to human
That's
beings?
Alex Jones's thing, huh?
Can you do if they did that to frogs and they just got rid of their genitalia? Can
Well, it's not getting rid of their genitalia. I mean, you're asking if they can castrate humans chemically?
I mean, yes.
Yes. Yes, you can do that. So, yeah, he was like, because that was one that pivoted, too. Because if you cast your mind back, Alex Jones was first saying that the government had a chemical that was he called it a gay bomb, that they were going to encourage and further the gay agenda with chemicals so that people don't have children. That was what he said way back. And then he kind of pivoted to, they're making frogs gay because of blah, blah, blah. And there were pesticides in the water that was kind of doing things like that. But it was no big Alex Jones reveal. I'll tell you that there was one element, though, of that. The prosecution's getting all of his texts and those things are trickling out. And the strange thing that I thought that nobody was picking up on was, one of the first things that was mentioned was that in that trove of information, there were intimate photos between he and Roger Stone. And I didn't, the phrase intimate photos seemed to kind of go over everybody's head. And I was like, I wonder what that's about. Were Alex Jones and Roger Stone, I couldn't imagine they were doing something with each other. It turns out that Alex Jones was sending Roger Stone nude pictures of his wife.
I knew it was going to be something like that. He seems like the exact type of guy that would do something like that. I knew that's what it was. They were like, "Hey, bro, check out my."
But your own wife? I mean,
yes.
Maybe she might have consented to it. I don't know anything about the nature.
Yeah, they're swingers. You don't know.
That's true. I don't know the nature of any of that.
I knew that's what it was.
I think Roger Stone's gone on record as being pretty open about his sexuality and stuff like that.
I was going to say, who knew he even liked girls? Yeah. Is he all over the place, Roger Stone?
Well, I just heard it.
Certainly is.
There's that documentary about him, and he called himself a trisexual. I'll try anything he wants.
Hey. He's a dabbler.
He's a dandy. Yeah. He complained, Alex Jones complained on his show that a naked picture of his wife was in those texts.
Wait a minute, so he's still allowed to do his show during all this?
Yeah.
He's
not in jail.
Shut that down just for...
They can't shut it down.
I'm saying you think he would.
No,
hey, why don't I shut my mouth while I'm under investigation?
He was doing it during the trial. He would do a show every day, and he'd have graphics. You didn't see the graphics of the judge with flames, and she's a pedophile? And yes. That's why that judge was talking to him like, this isn't your show. You have to tell the truth in here. This isn't your made-up reality. This is...
I got sued one time, and my lawyer was like, stay off the internet until this is over. And I didn't listen. And
Why didn't you listen?
Because
Weren't you terrified of being in some kind of litigation?
Not really. But I looked up the lady who was suing me, and I went back. I was looking through her Instagram.
Why was she suing you?
A car accident.
Okay.
I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about, to be honest with you. I mean, it's all done and over with for a few years. Yeah, it's all settled. But she was making wild accusations. God, I want to say them, but can I get in trouble for...
You're not saying her name.
Saying details of the case, though? Isn't that like public information?
I don't know.
Did you sign a gag order? Or like?
But what was her accusation?
She was saying that because she got hurt in the accident, she couldn't breastfeed her child, and because she couldn't breastfeed her child developed like learning disabilities.
I see.
So she was trying to sue me for an inordinate amount of money for like pain and suffering.
That's a huge reach on her part, too.
That's a huge reach. Yeah. So I was looking back through her Instagram.
But you didn't go to your lawyer and go look what she's doing?
Well, no. I was looking through her Instagram to see what was going on in her life around the time of the accident. I was just doing some little, some of my own research.
Yeah.
And I accidentally liked one of her pictures. And I called my lawyer.
Can't you immediately unlike?
You can, but I think they still get the notification. And I called my lawyer, and I was like, I messed up. You might want to know about this. He goes, I told you to stay off the internet. This is exactly... I was like, I just want to see what's going on her Instagram.
Can that be taken as like witness intimidation or something?
No, nothing like that. But
if you have notifications set up.
Everyone does.
I don't. It's Instagram.
It won't send you a push notification. It won't show up on there, but when you log in, you'll see Mary Santora liked your post from 4 years ago.
Oh, well, I don't see that.
Yes, you do.
How?
You tap the little heart, all of your notifications show up. You probably just don't tap the little heart.
That's what I'm saying. She would have to do that. Maybe she doesn't.
I would say 95% of people who have social media do that.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
So I go onto my Instagram, and let's say I go onto a photo here.
No, not a photo. No. Go to your Instagram. Just open it up. Just open Instagram.
Yep.
Okay. And then in the top right corner, there's a little heart. And then when you click that little heart in the top right corner, that's where all of your notifications show up.
Got her activity.
Yes, you do.
I have the hamburger.
No, you have a heart. Let me see your phone. No, hit the home page. The little bottom left.
Bottom left homepage.
Top right heart.
Heart,
That's all of your notifications. That tells you everyone who's commented on anything, liked anything, followed you.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Yes, so it would show up there.
So if you immediately unlike it,
I think
it doesn't matter.
I think it still shows up.
Really?
Like that I did.
You don't get a grace period?
I don't think so.
I think
you
it
can't
would
disappear,
though.
How did you accidentally like a photo?
Because you just double tap it. So I was like trying to scroll, accidentally tapped it twice, and then...
Did it work? Did that...
It didn't come up.
I was going to say that didn't come into play for anything.
Right. But I'm saying, I'm surprised his legal counsel didn't say, hey, stay off your... What are you doing?
He doesn't talk to his lawyers. And there's no way that he's going to not do his show.
Yeah.
He's a madman. He doesn't care about any of this. Like, people have worked with him. They're like, he doesn't care. So he's going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because you got to get out there and tell the rubes that this is all made up and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. But how weird that you're sending Roger Stone naked pictures of your wife. Maybe that's their thing. Maybe that's their vibe. I don't know. And plus, I don't know if this was the ex-wife or the current wife.
Did he get married again?
Oh, yeah, he got married again.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Glutton for punishment out there. Some lady.
Our phone out
operators are standing by with their thumbs up their asses waiting for you to call. So call.
Call the Alan Cox Show. 216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
The shot for you to go to Vegas again today. All week around 5 o'clock. You will get one singular keyword that can put you out there, you and a pal. We got our iHeartRadio Music Festival happening in a few weeks. Black Keys are going to play and Pat Benatar is going to play. A whole lot of good bands. So 5 o'clock is that keyword for you to win that trip. We fly you out, we put you up, throw you $1,000 to do with whatever you see fit. So a couple hours away from that. Guardians play tonight there at Comerica Park. First of 3 against the Tigers in Detroit. 6:40 is when your Guardians Live pregame will begin here on MMS. And remember, all month long, you can use the promo code RADIO for 12%. Can we please start doing that? Yeah. CLE Clothing Company. Use the promo code RADIO for 12% off. 20% off. Nice big round number. Easy for a dope like me to remember. Maybe a dope like you. You can remember it too. So if you're shopping online, you're in one of their stores. Those stores are fun. When you walk in, it smells like Cleveland. In the best possible way. It's got a mix of sandalwood and lavender. Last time I was in CLE Clothing Store. Right downtown. New studios. Right around the corner. You can hand Poundcake a wireless mic and have him walk down there. Try to get himself 12% off with CLE Clothing Company. Yeah. We were talking... What an ad-libber. We were talking about Pete Rose and how he had gotten himself... embroiled in what at the time was being called a statutory rape allegation. And this comes up, this is of men from a different time. This is a common thread. They'll get a little bit older and somebody will go, hey, remember when X, Y, and Z? Generational thing, right? Were there teenage girls throwing themselves at rock stars in the 60s and the 70s? Of course. Was it a problem? Didn't seem to be. Those girls wore it as a badge of honor. They didn't come back years later and go, Ted Nugent took my virginity when I was 14. And there's plenty of women that have that story. They didn't come back and file lawsuits or whatever.
Chicken or the egg? Were the girls going after the guys in the bands because they heard their songs about young girls? Or were the guys writing the songs about young girls because that's who was chasing them?
I mean, it's probably low from column A. I mean, these are rock stars.
Like, if you hear a song like She's Only 16, and you're like, damn, I'm 16? I can make this happen.
But I wonder what the shift was in the audience. When did that happen? Because if you were to go to a youngish rock band's show now, you wouldn't see young girls. You'd see dudes in black T-shirts, right? But there were young girls at, like, Aerosmith shows, Kiss shows,
I think that's just of
Poison
the time,
shows.
though.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
when did that shift? The 80s were notorious for this. The hair bands, because they looked like girls. So they were like, let's figure this out, right?
It depends on the bands you're going to, though, because all those emo bands of the 2000s, that was all girls watching them.
But they were too young to go backstage.
Didn't stop them.
Well, yeah, but those guys, nobody's accusing Fall Out Boy of, like, fingering 14-year-olds.
Not
you know what I mean? Like,
Fall Out Boy. Well, the times had changed by then, too.
That's what I'm saying. When was that shift?
I would say the 90s.
The 90s. Because I have to imagine.
But there were some guys that got called out for doing that.
But years later, when these girls got older and they got to be 30, and they were like, this guy groomed me when I was 13, right? I have to imagine that a 13-year-old Mary Santora would have done anything to get backstage at a Backstreet Boys show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. She would have done anything to get backstage at a Backstreet Boys show 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Kidding me?
She likes them so much, She bore the indignity of wearing their shirt.
I just did that in New York, too. I look great.
Oh, God.
I have 2 shirts.
Imagine.
A 13-year-old me at a Jesse McCartney show.
Who?
Jesse McCartney.
I was just doing my impression of America. Who's Jesse McCartney?
Beautiful soul.
Yeah.
Come on. I want you in your beautiful soul.
He's like
Was he a one-hit wonder or two-hit wonder?
No, he had pretty good. He's like a lighter Justin Bieber.
He had the little,
How do you get lighter
frosted tips.
Lighter looking, or
no? Like he wasn't as famous as Justin Bieber, but music-wise, he was the same.
He was Bieber light, is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Jesse McCartney.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he the How Do You Talk to an Angel guy? He doesn't look familiar at all. Jesse McCartney says he's a soap actor.
He was. I mean, he played,
I see.
He played on One Tree Hill, I think, for a little bit.
He did? I didn't know that.
Oh, so okay, he had like the swoopy bangs and
okay. He looked very.
He was in a group called Dream Street. Like whenever you're watching like the TV Guide channel, their little commercial would pop up.
Cute. Oh my God!
I don't want another pretty. Like when he singing, it was like he's singing to me. 13-year-old me. He was on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Well, I remember that, and I saw a lot of those episodes when my older kids were little. Anyway, I mention this because Demi Lovato is calling out Wilmer Valderrama.
Oh, no.
And I think this is kind of odd. Demi Lovato has no shortage of issues. The gal has issues. I think she's lovely. I think she's talented. I think she should, all success be unto her. But she is filled to the brim with issues, this girl. And she's got a song called 29. And she basically says that Wilmer Valderrama, in her lyrics in the song, that he groomed her because they dated they met when he was 29 and she was 17. And she ran up to him and was like, oh my God, you're so hot, blah, blah, blah. And he said, get away from me, you're not 18. So they were friends. And of course, as soon as she turned 18, all bets were off. And as we've mentioned many, many times in these situations, your brain isn't even done like fully forming until you're in your early 20s. But are you that hard up for material for songs? Because he didn't do anything wrong. 18 might be young. Some people might think it's creepy. It's not illegal.
How old was he?
29. He was 29.
29.
Well, he was 30 by the time she was 18, and then they ended up dating for about 6 years. Very famously. They famously, I think they were engaged at some point, whatever. Obviously, she's got a new album coming out, so she's looking to, drop little nuggets of stuff that'll get people like me talking about it. But I thought that was a very strange way to go. I don't know why anyone is dating female pop stars anymore. Because when it inevitably goes south, they're writing a song about you, and then everybody around is looking at you like, oh my God. And he's like, what? She was 18 years old.
Right.
Man, what do you want from me?
This is tour
I did everything
promo.
by the book. Huh?
This is tour promo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I think that's an odd...
It's messed up because,
she can do whatever she wants in her music, but it's just I think that's a really... It's different if you come out and you go, I was 14 and he was trying to get his hand in my pants. This guy clearly was like, nope.
I honestly think that she is, if she's trying to call out and Me Too him or something like that, she is gonna have a rude awakening because I feel like a lot more people will be on Wilmer's side than hers because girls love him, guys love him, everyone's a fan of Wilmer.
I don't even know if it's a side thing. I'm just saying. I mean, this is what she went through. This is her experience. But I just think that's an odd direction to go. I don't know.
But grooming
seems strange.
There's
she didn't accuse him of that, but the lyrics in the song
suggest that.
Are very suggestive of that. What the F's consent is one of the lines in the song. He waited until you were 18 years old. He said, get the hell away from it. I don't even want to be seen with you because you're 17 years old. So I don't know where the groom... I'm real fuzzy on the grooming thing, too, because grooming always meant something very specific to me, and so many MAGA types have wiped their ass with it in this kind of disingenuous way that actual grooming, people that are guilty of that, are going to be getting a free pass at some point. 17 and 29, she sings about in this song. So that was weird, because for a long time, they seemed like they were happy? They're having fun. And they probably were. I didn't realize he was that much older than she is.
I did, but like
it's 12 years.
It's normal in Hollywood.
That's not that big of a deal. I mean, I guess.
Well, no, it's
when
because,
you're 18.
right?
It's
a difference between you and Gwen is 10 years, but the difference between 50 and 40 is much smaller than the difference between 30 and 20.
I guess.
But some girls love older guys. There were girls in my school.
There's a girl at my show on Sunday, and she said she just broke up with a guy that was 30 years older than her, and she was in her early 30s.
Like some girls just don't like guys their age for whatever reason.
When I was in my early 20s, I hooked up with a dude who was like 50. And I was like, I can't do this. It happened one time that I hooked up with a guy that was that much older than me.
But that's not a relationship.
No, it was just like a
hooking
one-night
up.
thing.
Who cares?
Yeah.
You hook up with somebody who's 80,
right?
For the story.
But even that, I was just like, even conversation was tough, and like I was like, what am I? He was really cute, and we were at a bar, whatever. You know, we're talking and this, that, the other. But it was just one of those things where I was like, man, I couldn't do this.
I can't sustain not understanding his references.
See,
right.
And your issue is the exact opposite of my issue. I was like, oh wow, I can do this. I was like, I have no problem doing this at all. I need to get out of this because I can be comfortable. Like older men, like 40s, 50s. I've never been with a 60-year-old or anything like that. But I think early 50s I've been with, and I was like, that's really not that bad. I was like, damn it, Dad, it's all your fault. Well, and later in life, I'm like, wow, this is really nice. I'm cuddling with this dude. Like, he's like, you want to do a movie? I'm like, sure.
Because old men want to stay at home, and that's all Cody ever wants
It was
to do.
great. It was a fabulous life. He was like, I'll make us dinner. I'm like, you make us dinner? I'm like, don't you got to go to work? He's like, no. He's like, I work remote. And he was like, I run the business, so I can pop in whenever I want. I was like,
why don't you stay with him?
Well,
because Bill, he worked remotely, but his affections were also remote. It didn't work out so well for him. Alan, my wife and I went to Harry Styles, and believe me, there's a majority of young... Yeah, I'm not talking about pop stars. I'm talking about back in the day. Rock bands had young girls at the show.
Well,
because
there's not really rock bands coming up anymore. When's the last new rock band?
That might be part of it, too. And the ones that do come up are kind of musically paying homage to those older bands.
Yeah.
So, like... what the hell are they called?
Greta Van Fleet.
Greta Van Fleet.
Them, the 1975.
Yeah, but they're kind of all over the place musically.
They are, but they have a lot of, like, my older daughters, like, they were into them.
Yeah. Well, they're called the 1975. I mean, I give them some...
Alan, and they weren't bad. That was stuff when they put that on. I was, a lot of the music they were listening to wasn't my thing, and then they put that on. I was like, oh, I can ignore this. Yeah. This is great.
Yeah. That Someone Else song is awesome. I think that's what it's called. 1975 had a song called Someone Else.
I don't know that band.
Alan, it stopped when we moms who grew up in the 80s decided we didn't want our daughters doing what we did.
Maybe.
A lot of do as I say, not as I do. Well, that's no fun. Was good enough for you, wasn't it good enough for them?
Yeah, why would you rob them of the same joy you used to have?
Learn, though.
I mean, every parent wants to absolutely protect their kid from the stuff they did. But it's like, I didn't do that much stuff. So I just tell my kids to be careful. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Have fun.
But then you also had music evolved so much, too, where it wasn't just it wasn't just rock and country, and then, like, hip-hop changed the whole landscape of everything. So you got a lot of... They're the new rock stars. I mean...
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly, that's a lot of young girls that go see him.
Drake.
Post Malone. Like, that's...
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe that's what it is then. I mean, once those girls tried to get into Run DMC's Clamshell Adidas, it was all over.
Well,
Alan,
they had that song, It's Tricky.
I thought you were going to say My Adidas.
No.
Alan, you were talking about Alex Jones sending nude pictures of his wife to Roger Stone. I read that his wife has said she had no idea that he was doing that. So he wasn't...
He's going to be back in court for another divorce.
And sued again. Yeah.
Alex Jones, Alex Jones.
I love that Motown sound. Alan Cox Show After Hours line. To call us there. Leave voicemail. 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan, it's Tony in Brunswick. I was listening to yesterday's podcast, and Mary talking about her breakfast adventure in Chicago at the fancy restaurant and how the waiter didn't really know about chocolate chip pancakes. Who goes to a restaurant and asks for things not on the menu and is then surprised when the person working there doesn't know what it is? Of course they don't know what it is. It's not on the menu. I don't know. It's just something that stuck out to me. I thought it was kind of funny. All right. Hate the show. Bye-bye.
I mean...
Hold on. By that logic, he's saying that if I went to an Olive Garden and I said, hey, you guys have hamburgers? And the waiter was like, what the hell is a hamburger? That wouldn't be weird to you?
We don't have BLTs on the menu, sir. I don't know what that is.
I wasn't saying that I was shocked that they didn't have
You were
it.
asking if they could make them.
I knew they had pancakes. I have a 6-year-old with me, and I'm like, hey, do you guys have any chocolate chips you could throw onto these pancakes? And she acted like she had never heard of a chocolate chip pancake before.
Right.
That's what threw me off. I wasn't like...
She was big timing you.
I wasn't like, I can't believe you're not giving me this item on the menu that doesn't exist. I was a little like, oh, surprised.
What do you mean you don't have caramel vichyssoise for brunch?
Maybe this guy has some sort of amnesia where he has worked as a server and he only knows the food
on that menu.
On the menu of the place he works.
You've never heard of any
it.
other food item?
He's got like a memento type thing where he forgets what every other food is except the place he's serving.
Right. No, that's crazy logic. That's absolutely insane.
Anyone working in the food industry who's never heard of chocolate chip pancakes should be fired immediately.
That's what I mean.
That's different than ordering them.
No, I wasn't saying go buy me chocolate chips and make this special request.
So, ma'am, it's a regular pancake, but instead of mushrooms that we put in, it's chocolate chips? What are you talking about?
God. I wouldn't. That's funny. That's a funny way to think about it.
People are giving me a hard time because I couldn't find my notifications on Instagram. I didn't know.
You're an old man.
No, I'm on it all the time. I just don't check my notifications.
So you just post something and then never look at it
I post
again.
and ghost.
You
I don't
never,
care.
You don't read the comments. You don't comment back. You don't look how many views it has or anything.
No,
like
I don't care about that. If I look and somebody I know has left a comment, I might reply to them.
Got it.
Maybe. But I'm not going through. Because you guys, and I tell people this all the time, who break your guys' balls for social media. You guys monetize social media.
Yes.
I do not.
Right.
I don't use it the same way.
But you don't need it.
But I also don't, who cares? Mm-hmm. You guys use it in a different way than I do. That's why I love comedians on social media. And you guys know this. You might even be guilty of this. And I can't blame anybody because it's just how you do it. When you have a post that blows up, right? Mm-hmm. And you can never plan for that.
Right.
So it's always unexpected. You guys have both had posts that blew up. Mm-hmm. Now, what I always think is funny is when that person goes back and goes, oh my God, I just saw one this morning. Somebody posted something and it blew up. This is not someone I know. It's just someone on Twitter. And they immediately come back with, hey, if you think that's funny, follow me here. Mm-hmm. Come see my show at Side Splitters. And people are like, I guess because you have to.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to get the heat. So
right, but people are like, we're good. We just like the way you caption that picture.
Yeah.
The closest I do to that is on my YouTube videos, I just say, watch my special. So, like, I'll leave that as the comment on pretty much every post that I make in case they go, okay, I like this, and then they'll click on that, and hopefully they'll,
There's no downside to it.
Yeah.
Right?
I do it at the end of the video sometimes. If there's I'll have a little trail of laughter, I'll just say tour dates in bio or something like that. Or
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people who specifically tweet, hey, follow me here.
Yeah.
Come see me. Hey, if you think that's funny, they're like, yeah, we thought that was funny.
I never even try to get cross followers because it's just I feel like it kills the algorithm anyway, so it's not even worth trying.
Stupid murdered algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Idiot.
Let's not pretend any of this makes sense.
I don't understand any of this.
It's the Alan Cox Show
On the buzzer.
WMMS.
Your boy going to the Trivium show?
Not that I know of.
Should get him hip to it. He might not know what's happening. These guys are good.
Our next show is Post Malone.
That was my, I'm sending my daughter to the Detroit stop of that show.
Yeah, for his birthday.
Nora's going to love that.
Yeah, well, it's costing me a lot to send a 6-year-old with no escort to Detroit. It's
what a good dad would do.
I thought so.
Nailing it.
If you listen to the show on iHeartRadio, by the way, from outside Ohio, tell me where you do it. You might listen in Orlando, Trivium's hometown. We got a lot of people down there. Andrew is a bureau chief in Orlando. And Katie listens in Orlando. Julie listens in Rockingham, North Carolina. Kyle is one of our bureau chiefs. Well, he's probably the only one in Gladwin, Michigan. And Doug is in Dundalk. Dundalk, Maryland. And, of course, Joe is in Philly. What's going on, Joe?
Hello, guys.
How are you?
I haven't thought about this for a number of years because I kind of stopped being friends with this person. We're in contact, but I had an old teammate and roommate from college who, for about 3 years, every 6 months or so, would send me pictures of his girlfriend and wife, who are...
Is that two people?
Well, a girlfriend who became his wife.
Gotcha.
Sent me naked, nude photos of her. And it was very awkward because he would just ask pictures of my wife. And I'm like, no.
Oh, he wanted to trade.
Yeah, it was like a weird kind of thing. And then it just made like couples dinners a bit awkward because...
You're so turned on.
Was his wife hot?
Yeah, she was very hot.
Wow.
But it was like he'd be looking at me and he'd like giving me the eyes, and I'm like, yeah.
And she had no idea, I assume?
Oh, he was trying to do some hot wifing.
I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it just got very awkward, and I just never sent anything, but the fact that he would continue to send them was like, all right, cool. Like, what do you want me to say? Like,
so why did he keep doing it if he was getting no reciprocation from you?
I think he liked the idea that like other people were thinking she's hot as well, and he's like, yeah, I'm banging.
That's so gross. Hey, here's my wife, and then she sooner or later somebody's going to tell her. Hey,
yeah, he was just I'm not really close friends with him anymore. It's just kind of a bad friend. Just I'd be like, hey man, let's get the kids together, and I was like, all right. He would just want to talk about trying to party and hang out, and I was like, well, I have a family. This isn't like what I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Now, I assume you kept those photos.
I could probably find them.
He knows where they are.
I don't delete text messages.
Yeah, they're in a desktop file called "Not My Friend's Wife's Naked Pictures."
Yeah, no, I don't have them offhand. I think probably on the cloud. Isn't everything on the cloud at this point?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. All right, good. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, be safe.
All right, there's Joe in Philadelphia. Al and I work at a steakhouse, and as a result, I am totally ignorant regarding any non-steak related food items.
Never heard of it.
That's right. Potatoes? What? I don't know what you're talking about. On the subject of the tide turning with young girls backstage, somebody texted me in the break that the vibe of the whole grunge movement was anti-groupie. Because it was, grunge was a direct response to kind of the excess of the hair bands, and they called it sea rock back in the day, obviously, and that's why it's got to be weird.
Pirates? Or like is on boats?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Not SEA. Schmuck rock is what they call it. Yeah, it's like a sea ring. Right. But that's why I always thought it was strange. We just had that big First Energy Stadium show come through with Def Leppard and Motley Crue and Poison. Bands that at their peak, those 80s, we're underneath piles of girls, like that was their whole thing. And to come back and still be on tour and making music. And yeah, you've grown up some and you're married and you've got your own kids. But to look out on that crowd and see all of your groupies have grown up and many of them out. And that's got to be a strange thing to see, too. Because, there you are with a bandana and fake hair under it and trying to keep the whole thing going. You're playing stadiums, unbelievably, playing stadiums 30 years later. There's a guy, I was reading an article today, they go, reality show star tragically dies. There's a show I've never heard of, but there are a billion cable channels, so that doesn't mean anything. It's been on for 13 seasons. It's called Street Outlaws. Anybody watch Street Outlaws here?
Never even heard of it.
Me either.
I haven't either. It's over on Discovery Plus, and it's a show about the street racing community in Oklahoma City.
Oh, wow.
And one of the stars of the series died in a crash. Now, I know that we've kind of picked over the finer points of what constitutes a tragedy before, but is that a tragedy?
I feel like that's kind of expected. That would be the way I would think that.
That's
guy
what
would
I'm
go
thinking.
out.
For some reason, whether it's true or not, I always think of a tragedy as unexpected.
Shocking.
Shocking. There's nothing shocking about a guy street racing who ends up dying.
In a street race.
In a fatal crash.
Right. If
he lost control of his car near the finish line, rolled it burst into flames, and bystanders couldn't get him free in time. So the people around watched this dude burn in the car.
Oh, God.
Ryan Fellows is the guy. No relation to Brian Fellows. 41-year-old leaves behind a wife and 2 kids. So, yeah, that sucks. I'd never heard of this show before, but it certainly doesn't sound unexpected. He died doing what he loved. And that's the most any of us can ask for. Now, the definition of tragedy is an event causing great suffering, destruction, or distress, such as a serious accident, crime, or natural catastrophe. So, okay, so I'm wrong.
Tragedy, then,
there you go. It's a tragedy.
It's just not an unexpected tragedy. It's part of the life. You know, if you're a street racer, you gotta be ready to move on to that big street race in the sky.
Right. I mean, you know, if you're talking plays and things, what's a tragedy? What's a tragic drama? A one with an unhappy.
Fellow.
Huh?
What is a fellow one? I just
Well,
named the first
one with an
I knew.
unhappy ending.
Oh.
You know, Shakespearean tragedies. I mean, comedy and tragedy. So I guess that's what I was thinking of, is one that has an unhappy ending, which this does have.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
That movie was a tragedy.
That was a tragedy, but it's great.
But didn't you also all see it all coming?
No.
Like, really?
I had it
You're
in
the
my
one?
heart. I was like, he's gonna do it.
Well, because
No,
he did do it.
I know.
And then it all goes.
And then Julia Fox started hanging out with Kanye. And those were the real uncut gems. Kanye and Julia Fox. You know, they're still figuring themselves out. Alan, I'm out here in Geneva, and I just passed a car with a license plate. Bye. B-Y-E-E-E-E. That's pretty good.
Street racing seems a little silly.
I don't know, man. If that's your thing, if cars are your thing, and souping them up, and
I understand
with the
that, but
popularity
then
of Fast and the Furious.
But it's just the amount of danger, and also like you can just go to a racetrack, like go.
I don't
do
think
it
you
legally.
can take your own car on a
That's in a
racetrack.
circle, Bill.
There's I'm sure there's places they can do it without
Just a flat track. Like it, yeah. Well, they don't want to do that. They want to do it on the streets of Oklahoma City. Hasn't that city seen enough tragedy as it is?
I'm going to be there in October. Headlining Bricktown Comedy Club.
The Bricktown Comedy Club.
Mm-hmm. That'll be my first experience in Oklahoma City.
Oh, good for you.
Will you go to the McMurray Federal Building to cheer yourself up?
No, I'm going to try to find the street racers.
Well, they're down one.
They're still
FYI.
plural.
Just saying, if he was the guy you were going to see.
I'll do my research.
What are the dates on that?
October.
October. Okay, there you go.
Why? What did she say?
I don't know, I'm just trying to get specific dates for people.
October 20th to the 24th. There
you go.
23rd, sorry.
We had Bricktown Square Mall in Chicago. It might even still be open. This is called the Bricktown Comedy Club?
Yeah.
That's where I was with Zarna Garg a few months ago.
Gesundheit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was the same one you were at?
Yeah.
What? What is that?
I'm a retainer.
Oh, you okay over there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm okay. You okay?
Yeah, fine. Hey, listen. Anne Heche has taken a turn for the worse. Speaking of crashes, unlike Anne Heche, your medical status can turn on a dime. And she is in much worse shape than they initially reported. Anne Heche is currently in a coma.
Oh, man.
And they said she is in what they call extreme critical condition, which seems redundant, but I'm not a physician. Because they initially said yesterday, they were like, yep, she's stable, she's doing fine, she had a rough time, but she's doing okay. They determined that she had significant pulmonary injury, and she's on a mechanical ventilator, and she had serious burns, and she's in a coma. I don't know if she's in a medically induced coma. That's what it maybe sounds like. But she has not...
if you go on a ventilator, I think they have to put you into a medically induced coma.
Because they can't put that tube down your throat while you're awake.
Well, they could sedate you for that.
They have to knock you out.
Right, but that's not a coma. I mean...
I think that's the same thing.
Sedation is a medically induced coma?
No, when they do a ventilator, they have to put you into a coma. They can't just sedate you.
Oh, I thought they could just sedate you.
No, because sedation wears off.
When your dad, did they have to put him in a medically induced coma?
That's what they do to ventilate people.
Okay, I don't know.
Because sedation wears off after a few hours.
At least when it's a mechanical ventilator. When it's a human ventilator, then everybody just takes turns breathing in your mouth.
Like a balloon.
Who had the onions for lunch? Am I right? Okay, so when you're when it's breathing for you,
life support or
you have
ventilator,
to be comatose.
Yes, life support ventilator, same thing, and they have to put you completely out.
Oh, I guess I didn't think life support and being on a ventilator were the same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
Is
That's
it
what
really?
life support is.
It's just the breathing.
Mm-hmm. It's breathing for you. It's
because
keeping you alive.
The breathing has to support your life.
Correct. Almost like it makes sense.
No, but there's more processes in your body than just breathing. So I thought maybe
everything else works. When it's your lungs that are the problem.
Yeah, I understand.
Everything else is working. Your brain is working. Your heart is working.
Okay, I'm learning stuff.
There's this stuff called oxygen.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
You can't see it, Bill. Prove it to me.
How about that?
Didn't see anything.
But you heard it.
Still haven't seen anything.
Mostly carbon dioxide. Anyway.
Okay, so so they put her in a coma.
So they can ventilate her.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So they said she has not regained consciousness. So I guess she's stable in that, but the more that they've explained it. And if you've seen any of that video that's popped up of her flying down the street, you're like, holy Christ. You can't believe she's alive. She's in a Mini Cooper that burst into flames, went through this woman's house. The woman's alive, but she lost her house and all of her possessions. I think it's just sheer luck that this woman was in the back of the house and like holding her dogs or something. Anne Heche has a lifetime opioid crime drama coming up that she's promoting called Girl in Room 13. Maybe she went method.
Wouldn't it be ironic if that's what emergency room she's in? Or hospital room she's in?
Room 13.
Room 13.
We put her in Room 13.
It's all promo.
Yeah.
It's all a promo.
I thought Anne Heche was foxy back in the day when she's in Donnie Brasco, and I liked her a lot in things.
I don't know if we covered this yesterday, but did Alan go visit her yet?
I don't know
think
about
she
that.
would.
Well, they were married.
I know. Even though that's your ex, like, still a human being.
Yeah. Maybe she will. Ellen has not contacted Anne Heche. Well, I mean, she's.
I'm in a coma.
I'm in a coma. You couldn't even come see me? They refer to her as Anne Heche's ex-lover. Weren't they married or no?
They were married.
She was married to Portia de Rossi. Maybe that's who I'm thinking.
Portia de Rossi's her current husband.
Poundcake.
That's her.
Oh, they're
wife.
still together.
There wasn't legal gay marriage when they were together.
I think it was in California.
This said they dated from 97 to 2000. Okay.
Okay, never mind.
Well, because I know at the time a lot of people were giving Anne Heche a hard time saying that she was just an opportunist, that she wasn't really gay. She was just playing gay because Ellen was a big, big deal. But who knows, right? I mean, whatever.
Like a lesbian would care. A gay wouldn't care. You think if a straight guy was like, all right, I'll be gay for some promo. Like, I'll be gay if I might get a movie. I wouldn't care.
No, you wouldn't care, but a lot of people would care if somebody was just with them for the paps.
But a straight guy is different. Like a lesbian is like, oh, okay, this girl that I probably would date if she was actually gay wants to date me because I'm Ellen. So I really don't have to do any work. Like, okay, I'm not going to marry her, but I'll have some fun.
Now, they had the same haircut for a while. Would you have the same haircut as your straight boyfriend?
No, he would have the same haircut as me. I would pick the haircut.
Oh, you would?
I mean, yeah, if I'm getting a haircut and he's like, I just want to be like my man, and, I want us to vibe. I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting this haircut. So
would you have him take the hairline back or just...
No.
Okay, I'm just asking.
He needs to be...
Devotion to accuracy. I'm just trying to get to the
He needs to be hotter than me. But
okay.
I don't want him to be...
Well, yes, everybody wants to be with someone who's hotter than them.
Yeah. What's the point of having like a trophy man if he's not up to par?
This guy, not up to par. Because Poundcake goes, hey, if they're only as good looking as me, where's the fun in that?
There's trophy there.
There's no trophy there.
Told you. Like, I'm pretty much dead now. So, yeah, they have to be hotter than me. Sorry.
Chuck says, I told my mom that someone was stable, and she said, what does that mean? Dead is stable.
No, I mean, stable just means unchanging.
Yeah,
really,
that's true. Yeah. Their condition is stable, and it's going to remain that way forever. Are you trying to tell me that they died? I'm trying to tell you that they died, but their condition is stable. Anne Heche and Harrison Ford. That was in a movie, though. Right? 6 Days, 7 Nights?
Yeah, it's a movie.
That's why they thought they were really upset when she came out, because they're like, now nobody's going to believe that you and earring guy are actually an item. When you're gay and you're now you're stranded on an island with Harrison Ford. But you know what Harrison Ford said? He said, this will be a testament to my ability
to turn them out.
To make these movies. Now, the movie didn't do anything, I don't think, but he thought this'll be a testament to my ability to take people to a land of fantasy and make-believe, right? You don't have to believe that somebody... Neil Patrick Harris was Barney Stinson, for God's sake.
Have you seen his new show on Netflix?
It's very gay.
I love it.
Very gay.
It's super gay,
Yeah.
but that's like what it's about. It's
Right.
about a gay guy ending a long-term relationship.
Yes.
Dude, it's funny.
He's awesome. I'll watch him do anything.
What's it called?
Even other guys.
Singled out?
I thought it was Lost Out or something.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Cody, you got to watch the show. It's so
It's on Netflix.
funny.
What's it called again?
It's called The Smurfs.
No,
that can't be right.
It's not the right one. It's not the right one.
It's called it's called
Uncoupled.
Harold and Kumar
Uncoupled,
go to White
yeah.
Castle.
Uncoupled, that's it. When I was in New York, the girl I was staying with, her and her husband were obsessed with that show. So I jumped in like season...
She and her husband.
Yeah. I jumped in like season
New York,
6.
Alan. They're very progressive.
And I watched like 7. I watched most of like that season. And I was like, man, do I even start it from the beginning now? Like,
Yeah.
I'm so involved in the drama of all of it, So it was very good. Though.
You might be surprised to find out that there are a lot of conservative people in New York City.
How many seasons are there? Episode 6.
There's like 7 seasons.
No,
isn't
this
there?
is the first season.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure this is a new show.
Yeah.
Then maybe
it started in 2022. You think of a different show?
No, I watched like 3 or 4 episodes.
Are you
of that
watching
show.
Queer as Folk?
8 total.
Well, then I watched
you watching
most of
Doogie
the
Howser?
season. No, I watched most of the season. I thought it said like season 6.
It's
Maybe
called
it just
How
said
I Met
episode
Your
6.
Mother, and he's super gay in it. And no, this one is a brand new show. This is the guy that did Sex in the City is the guy that produced this one. Darren Star produced Uncoupled.
Well, then I've watched most of the show. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. It's got Gina from Martin. Damn,
Yeah.
Gina.
Oh,
she's in that show.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Sometimes you just can't. News can come too little, too late. And I think of Olivia Newton-John, who died yesterday. Breaking news on the Alan Cox Show, Bill.
I heard it.
That she died after a battle with breast cancer. And now today comes the story from researchers that honeybee venom kills aggressive breast cancer cells. Now, in the ultimate irony, of course, we're killing all the honeybees. So screw us, I guess. But they said that a compound found in honeybee venom destroyed 100% of the hardest to kill breast cancer cells in an hour.
So, venom, is that what comes out of their stinger?
Yes.
So you got to get stung by a bee in your boobies.
I mean, I imagine that they...
That's what I call boobies.
Oh, my God. I'm sure, I assume that they'll want to synthesize this
Headline
in some
hilarious
way.
this Thursday, professional comedian Bill Squire.
You don't have to go to Oklahoma City. It's right in your backyard.
They just have you stand in like a beekeeper outfit, but with just the boobs out.
Yes.
They let you go into it. Like, it's going to hurt, but I promise it works.
But it's worth it.
Yeah. Researchers at the Harry Perkins Institute.
That doesn't sound official.
It's in Australia.
It should be Harold. Use the Harold, not Harry.
Harry Perkins Institute. Yeah. That's when wanting your name on a building can go awry. When you have a weird name. No, it's not a weird name. It just sounds weird. The Harry Perkins Institute.
Your name is Alan Cox.
Yeah, I wouldn't put my name on a building.
Institute.
Well, but I'm saying billboard.
I wouldn't put my name. I don't even have a billboard or a van.
You had a van, didn't you have a van?
I had a van, but H. John Benjamin had a van.
I don't even know who that is.
Anywho.
Alan, you have been described by your enemies as evil, insane, manipulative. Who are you?
Call the Alan Cox Show. 216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
It is, that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's Poundcake's favorite punk band.
I recognize that voice anywhere.
Yeah,
Have you heard? Yeah, because it sounds like Fall Out Boy. Have you heard this new song?
No.
Local God, brand new Panic at the Disco?
No.
Are you going to go to this tour?
Probably not.
Doing the VMAs?
So?
I would imagine that you'd like to watch your favorite punk band on television.
Unless he gets shirtless, I really don't care.
Well, I don't know if he's going to take his shirt off, but the new album is coming out in a matter of days. Viva Las Vengeance.
Ooh, I get it.
Yeah. Boy, he must have heard Fall Out Boy and thought, I can do that.
They don't really sound that similar.
He sounds exactly like Patrick Stump.
That
The music
that
sounds
song
different.
does.
His voice sounds exactly like Patrick Stump. That's why it's so recognizable.
But they have two different styles, though. Panic at the Disco.
I'm just talking about his voice. I don't mean I'm not talking about the bands.
But
his voice.
it
He heard Patrick Stump and goes, I can do that.
Well, they are close friends, but it depends on what style of music that they're doing. Like, there is a song called 9 in the Afternoon where, yes, he sounds like Fall Out Boy.
That's like that might be why I liked Panic at the
That's
Disco
what I'm saying.
so much, because I was into Fall Out Boy first.
I'm not even talking about the music.
Yes,
Just his voice.
But there had been some songs earlier, like I Write Simsnack Tragedies. He doesn't sound like Fall Out
The
Boy
first
at all.
album, no, and that's my favorite Panic at the Disco album is A Fever You
Yeah, he
Can't
does.
Sweat Out. That first album, he does not sound as copycatty.
I don't even mean copycatty. I mean, he heard it and was like, that's a good sound. That's what my voice sounds like.
Okay.
It's all going to work out. Hold on.
And I can't help but to hear. No, I can't help but to hear in exchanging of words.
He sounds exactly like Patrick
Now
Stump.
play a Fall Out Boy song. They don't sound the same.
I don't
That's
think
similar.
they sound the same.
I'm just going to say, I don't really like this segment. I'm not a huge fan of either of these bands.
Bill, you don't want to go down the rabbit hole on Yuri v. Stump?
Hey, you guys do what you got to do. I'm just putting my...
Your 2 cents worth?
Yeah. I don't know.
Fall Out Boy is a bucket list band for me to see. Oh, boy. What?
You need a different bucket.
You don't know about my bucket.
Man, I met them before they were blew up. My friend was friends with the drummer, and they were opening for a band called Mest.
Oh, God.
Do you remember Mest?
I've never heard of Mest.
Yeah. And, they got, they were good. They were blowing up at that time, so more people were there to see them than Mest.
Yeah, they do not sound similar.
I mean, when he really gets
It's
going.
the exact same.
Shut up, Bill. You already cast your lot in the I don't care bucket.
No.
When he gets singing. Yeah, he sounds exactly. They sound
Fall Out
exact.
Boy.
Oh boy!
Oh, I love
Listen,
them.
nothing wrong with it, right?
I'm gonna listen to them on the way home.
You should.
I've been listening to some Blink-182 the past couple days, and I listened to that live album that they released in 99 or 2000, and they're I thought it was like the funniest stage banter back then.
Didn't even know they ever did a live album.
Yeah. It's the stage banter is so it's just like, you're gay. He's gay. Take off your pants. Dogs lick peanut butter, and I thought that was the funniest stuff. And then watching again,
that's how
and it holds up. Now I was like 18.
Fortunately, that's still what the Bloodhound Gang does. So if you're into that kind of stuff, the Bloodhound Gang.
That's when they're in Pittsburgh. That's what they're called.
You guys get the Bloodhound Gang show?
Bloodhound Gang.
Hey, my God. I saw them at Warped Tour. They're out there with Pennywise and Blink-182. You thought the enema struck back then? Oh, God. By the way, somebody told me in the break that Anne Heche was supposed to do the Steel City Comic-Con this weekend. I don't know what for, though. She in a nerd show? Anne Heche?
Was she in like a Star Trek or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Have a weird arc.
Steel City. They have a killer lineup, though. If you're out in Pittsburgh and you're going to Steel City Comic-Con. John Carpenter, Zachary Levi, Bill Goldberg, Alicia Silverstone, Danny Trejo, Ric Flair, Soup Nazi, Wayne Knight.
I mean, sometimes they just get people that have long careers, and she's had a pretty long career. I mean,
they just get that?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a nerd thing. Like, people will pay to take the picture with them, then they'll show up.
I wonder how you get on their radar. Your people go, hey, let's put you on some cons and see what happens?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, anyway, I don't think she's going to be there since she is in a medically induced coma, as I understand it.
She was in Volcano.
Yeah. Bronson Pinchot and Mark Lynn Baker will both be there. Do you remember the show they were on?
Bronson Johnson.
Netflix just rebooted it.
Action Johnson.
Bronson Johnson.
Bronson Johnson. Action Bronson Pinchot is the cooking show. It's called Stranger Things. Perfect Strangers Things is what it was called.
Then I got on the bus, and they found your father to move in. But he said, no, you have to go to the big city of Chicago to find my son. That's you.
Look, I can't just turn you out into the cold.
Don't worry about me. I know where I'm going.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
I'm feeling strange.
No, it's okay. Cousin, this is no time to place blame. Sure, we're no longer tethered to Mother Earth, but we're communing with Father Sky.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that as much as they did before. Anywho, those guys are going to be there, you know.
Cousin Larry.
Blink-182 live album definitely holds up. Dog semen is full of calories. I guess that's the standout line for those guys. Mm-hmm.
The performance is good. I like the performance. They sound good.
Yeah. That was with after Travis Barker joined?
Yeah, Travis was
not the first dude?
Yeah. This is right after Enema of the State came out.
Oh, okay.
Enema of the State?
Yeah.
That was the joke. It was Enema of the State.
That's so funny.
You never listened to Enema of the State? It was the one with Janine Lindemiller on the cover, I think.
No.
Yeah, it was. And then the next album after that was Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
I didn't know. All these bands are so clever.
There's one band and it's not that clever.
Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
So this is all new to him. I know. Let's see Panic at the Disco do that. Come up with a punny album title.
They come up with punny names.
Oh, wait. Viva Las Vengeance. I mean, it's no Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. But
they had a... Wait, no, what was the name of the song? Lying is the most fun you could ever have without taking your clothes off.
Mm-hmm. That's not a pun.
I know, it was just a stupid song.
It's too long of a song title.
See,
God.
that was a Fall Out Boy thing, too.
I know, these long song titles. Guys, come on. Just call it number 1, number 2, number 3.
You are boring.
But it's better if you do.
Boring.
It's not tragedy.
Nobody cares what the song title is. They care what the lyrics are. They care what you're doing on stage. Hey, this one's called blah, 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 blah. They're like, who cares? Play the song.
I'll never forgive him for passing me up on the red carpet.
Forgive who?
Brendan Urie.
Do you think that keeps him up at night?
Buy a ticket to a show.
Yeah, I was on the red carpet. I was interviewing.
Doesn't matter. You don't care about him?
That's why he's not coming to Cleveland. You want to go on
you.
this tour, you got to go to Detroit, Columbus, Toronto, not coming here. Why?
Cody.
Panic at the Disco fans, you can thank not so helpful Brown back there behind the glass. And he's only got a few more days of being behind the glass. Our first show downtown is next Tuesday. So enjoy the glass.
How many shows is that?
It's no way to tell. But the point is, we have 4 more shows in this studio. 4 more shows. People have been asking me if I'm going to trash the studio.
Dude, let's do it.
I don't own
this. Throwing things
okay,
out the window.
Here we go. And we're done.
We do that 4 hours every single day. No, I will remove everything that I've purchased. But other than that, no, I'm not going to try. This studio has been very good to me. I hold no ill will toward the studio. What?
Cox was here. LOL.
LOL, I was here. Why would I put LOL?
To get it.
But if I was here, why would I be laughing out loud about it? Not silently chuckling to myself.
Maniacally. Make a note.
No, everybody else says LOL. I sign mine SCTM. Silently chuckling to myself. And people get it. They get it.
No one gets
Mary,
that.
they get it.
No one gets that.
Yeah, they do. They
do.
go, hey, want to come over for dinner? SCTM scrotum. Don't keep texting me about his scrotum. It's making me really uncomfortable.
Is there an HR, or do we still not have one of those?
Joe from Philly's sending me pictures of his friend's wife. Alan's texting me about his scrotum. I got to change my number.
This is your father speaking from the Alexa. I would like to be on the blacklist.
Oh, this son of a bitch. You know what? This person who is trying to fool me by pretending to be my dead father.
So it's not your dad.
It's not my dad.
Okay, I thought it was. I thought that's why you kept playing it.
It took me a couple of times to realize that it wasn't him because it sounded just like him.
Helen, this is your father speaking from the Alexa.
You know what I had to do is I had to take that and compare it with an audio file of my father's actual voice. Lo and behold, not the same. So this guy's trying to pull the wool over my eyes. I was not SCTM over that. I'll tell you that much. So no, that's not my father. I was all hopeful. This is what I get for being hopeful. I was all hopeful when people started talking about, oh, they might be able to synthesize dead relatives' voices and you can hear them through the Alexa. But I had the wool pulled over my eyes, but no longer. That's what I get for being optimistic. That's what I get for believing in all this otherworldly claptrap, Mary. I tried stepping on your side, and look what happened. This guy pretending to be my late great father coming through my Alexa.
You don't even have an Alexa in here.
Huh?
What?
You don't know that I don't have an Alexa in here.
It's always listening.
Mm-hmm. It's always listening. That's right. Listen, it's been a bad week. Bad couple of weeks, in fact, for people with depression. Because
it's been a bad. If you have depression, it's always a bad.
Well, I don't know how long you've had it.
Forever.
And given that hundreds of millions of people have been prescribed powerful medication over several decades for apparently no good reason, perhaps the collusion between Big Pharma and the American Psychiatric Association might finally be over, since they've come to the conclusion that depression is not a chemical imbalance. So all these people holding prescriptions, they have to figure out what's next, because a lot of people have made a lot of money prescribing a lot of things for a long, long time for depression, and they find no evidence that depression is caused by a chemical imbalance or low serotonin levels.
I lived with that scam for 4 months when I was on that medication, and I was like, no boners for me. Nope, got to get off this. I'd rather deal with one chemical imbalance than another.
I'm always fascinated by things that have been studied for a long time, how they don't come to these conclusions sooner.
They do. They just withhold information until they make enough. I don't even know what's enough, but
there's
they
never,
make a
but
lot
there's
of
never
money.
gonna be enough, is my point. So it's like, but these aren't.
Someone probably was going to blow the whistle, so they were like, all right, jig us up. I don't know.
Blow the whistle?
Yeah, maybe they were going to say there's no chemical imbalance. Someone was going to come out and say that, or someone discovered it.
Yeah, but Big Pharma throws billions of dollars at things like that. I mean, they make a lot of money. So the results of this have called into question just what exactly antidepressant medications and prescriptions do.
Well, they're supposed to. Well, I'm on an anti-anxiety medication, but from everything I understand, they're supposed to reroute neural pathways in your brain. But if that's not the problem,
Yeah, they said that there's no mechanism by which antidepressants affect depression symptoms.
So why they make you feel better? It can't all be the placebo effect.
I'm telling you, man, I don't think I ever felt better. Like, I didn't like, when I was on that medication.
You also might not have been on the right medication for you.
Yeah, but you also have to cast your mind back, if you're old enough to remember, that the phrase chemical imbalance didn't even really start to be in the vernacular until they started prescribing drugs.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't know about it.
It was the tail wagging the dog.
It would just make me mad that I couldn't cry. Like, I wanted to cry because I was depressed, and I couldn't. I physically could not make the tears.
It's like paradise. Why would you want to cry?
Because that is a way of me releasing that emotion. I don't really vent. I don't really tell people my problems outside of the show. Like, I don't like to burden people. People come to me with their problems for whatever reason, and I try to give them the best advice I possibly can, or just be all ears. So me crying is just a way of me releasing that.
What's something you would cry about? Like, give us an example.
I think if I wasn't myself, I wouldn't like myself, or I wouldn't be friends with someone like me.
Wait, what?
If he met...
So you would cry...
If he met someone who was exactly like him, he wouldn't like them, is what he's saying.
Yeah. And you would cry about that.
You want to run into your own arms.
Well, what he's saying essentially is that he doesn't like who he is as a person.
None of us like who we are as people. I'm not crying about it.
Hold on.
Yeah, hold
I don't
on.
like who he is as a person either. Don't gloss over that one.
I'm not crying about it. Living my life.
I like who I am as a person.
I like
Please.
who I am, too. There's things I'm working on changing, but...
Not me. I'm perfect.
It's one way to do it.
I'm finished.
I'm finished. Way to do
I've done all the work that I need to do, and I am done.
Coasting.
I've accepted the flaws, and I'm moving forward.
There you go.
And so have you found, what were you able to find that would help you cry?
Getting off that medication, and then I was able to cry again.
Well, that was my
you
issue.
cried before you were on the medication.
I cried before I was on the medication, and that was why, like, that. This was all in my mental breakdown phase of. This was when I had the tinnitus in my ear. COVID was going on, so I was self-isolating. I was really like at home.
No, I get all that during COVID and the tinnitus and all that. I fully understand all that. But that wasn't a chemical imbalance.
I didn't say it was.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, so I was crying all by myself in my room, and my mom was like, "I'm going like days, weeks without speaking to you. You're scaring me." And so I started crying to her over the phone one time, and she's like, "Oh no," she's like, "You're getting on medication." And so when I got on that medication. I'm not saying it was a chemical imbalance.
So a couple of seconds of her son pouring out his heart, and she goes, "You got to
I can't take this.
You got to get on a pill."
Yeah,
you got to get on a pill. I can't handle any more of this.
It took some convincing because she didn't just do it because I was like, "I'm not listening to you." Like, you think a pill is a magic bullet for everything. So then my brother...
Nobody wants to see that. We'll get the stick.
My brother was then co-signing, and then she called my cousin, and my cousin was co-signing. I'm like, fine, I'll get on some medication. And I was like, but if I don't like it, I'm stopping because I don't want to get dependent on it.
But that's also... Okay.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's not how medication works. I've had this conversation with multiple people in my life where it's like you can't just take it for a month or two.
But I didn't take it for a month or two. I don't know how long that period was. How long was that period?
4 months, you said, I think.
Right. I know.
But aren't they also intended to just flatline you?
No.
Like, you're not crying, but you're not laughing either. I thought that was the point.
They are meant to even you out so your highs aren't so high and your lows aren't so low if that's what you need fixed.
Yeah, middle you out.
Yeah, but I mean, I still have great days and bad days, and I'm on the same medication he's talking about.
You guys are on the same one?
I've been on it for...
Can you get boners?
I can, actually. My sex life's never been better.
Yeah, no.
Thanks, Lexapro.
I couldn't cry. I was trying to, like, push. I was like, push.
I didn't cry for
couldn't get any liquids out.
Oh, it's all blocked up. Dehydrated.
Yeah, I couldn't push any tears out. I'm like, come on, give me a tear. I'm sad. And it was like nothing.
That was one of the things I didn't like about it at first either. And I talked to my doctor about it after, like, you have your 6-week checkup or whatever. And I was like, yo, I haven't cried. And I don't think I've ever gone 6 weeks in my whole life without crying.
6 hours.
Right.
Yeah, no. So I couldn't cry, couldn't finish. So I'm like, I'm just not going to get anything done.
The only time I cry is when I'm watching. Like, I don't cry about my life.
What do you watch that makes you cry if you don't cry about your life?
It's random. It's a cell phone commercial, right?
Just usually if it's like a movie and there's like a parent moment. What's the one that got me lately was...
Parent Trap.
Not Parent Trap. Spectrum. That one got me.
Oh, yeah?
Because whenever their parents so happy that their kids like going on a date or something like that, and they see the progress, like that stuff destroys me.
Huh. Oh, I got a text from our own Corey Roddick, by the way. He said, I feel like I need to weigh in on this. I am heartbroken to leave the studio.
Aww.
It's the most familiar place in my entire life.
I feel like he spent 20
You'll
years
take
here.
your items, he says, but I'll be leaving my soul.
Corey.
Dude,
right? This is ground
write this
zero
down.
for
This
him.
is a good song.
Right.
Good thing you're on those Lexapro.
I agree. You know, I saw Carmen Angelo in the hallway leaving yesterday, and I was like, "Are you excited for the new digs?" And he was like, "No." He said just like that. I was like,
"Yeah, down to WTA.
Yeah,
I would change."
Well, I was like, "Why?" He's just like,
Because they got to learn new equipment. He's just being crusty about that.
He was like,
they got to like hand crank their equipment back at TAM. He should be beside himself to be downtown.
He was like, "This is the only place I've ever known. I've been here 20 years, or at this place 20 years." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I've been here 12. What's the difference between 12 and 20? Who cares? You're coming to the same place. I'm just saying, you're coming to the same... If you come to the same place for work more than a year, like, who cares how long you've been,
I don't know. But
well, they can stay here then.
He said, "No." He's being crusty. I'm going to see him in the hallway. Carmen, you're just being crusty.
He is being crusty.
Come on, man. This new is change.
Well, it is funny, though, because they don't want it to look like anybody works there downtown. Because someday nobody will work there, so it's like that. There won't be that big of a stretch. But well, Corey, listen, we I don't know, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. We'll see you down there, and I'm happy about it because the goddamn ghost ship out here. Literally, somebody propped our front doors open.
They sure did,
and a pizza guy walks in, and he goes, "Is there a Dan here?" And I go, "No."
I should have just said, "Yeah, that's me," and taken the pizza.
No, because he had already gone to I go, "Maybe T-Mobile." He goes, "No, I already went over there. They said there wasn't there. It just says 4th floor, Dan." And I go, so I walk him down.
What kind of pizza was it?
Ramito's?
Well, it could have been ours.
There's no Dan here.
So what?
I walked down. Somebody called and wrote Dan and ordered a pizza.
Did you find out who Dan was?
No, I walked down to TAM. It's literally this morning. The only people who are here are me and Ray Davis.
Wait, they ordered a pizza like 10 in the morning?
It was an early pizza. I go, "Do you have a Dan?" I know there's no Dan at TAM. I go, "Do you have?" I'm trying to help the guy.
Yeah.
"Do you have a Dan?" He goes, "No." I don't know what happened. I go, "Well, there's I don't know. It says Dan and 4th floor." I'm like,
it was
you
already paid for. I'd have been Dan for that pizza.
I'm not trying to take Dan's pizza.
Dan doesn't exist.
Dan exists on that Ramito's delivery slip. I didn't want to jam the guy up. I didn't want to, because guess what? This Dan didn't have any tip money on him. So, hey, give me that pizza.
You have Venmo?
Yeah, I delivered it. Dan is a terrible tipper. He stiffed me.
Yeah, it's not coming back on you anyway. He thinks you're Dan.
Yeah, but I don't want to jam up the real Dan. Maybe he orders from them all the time.
Then he would know where he works.
Dan would know where to go.
This is a different delivery guy. This guy's coming up here. Dan knows what's going on, but this guy could be brand new at the place. I don't know. That's what I get for trying to help. That's what we get, though, for it being a free-for-all here now.
Yeah.
The doors are wide open. Just shower curtains and extension cords all over this place. I'm like, we've got to get out of here.
Closet doors off the hinges.
Oh, my God. People think we're joking.
The paint is peeling on the wall.
Yes.
He might have been just a voice man.
He's the man of 1,000 voices.
Greatest voice man that ever lived.
None of which will make you laugh.
But he never took a performance for granted.
Alan Cox.
On 100.7 WMMS.
100.7 WLOS Brotherwood here from Guar. Called Crack of the Egg of the Bull. This is going back a ways, boy. This is off of America Must Be Destroyed. Everybody else was digging on Nirvana and Pearl Jam. Guar was still cranking Guar out. I'm taking Mary to Guar.
I've been to Guar.
I know you have. I know.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
The first time.
It's across the street from us now.
First and only
Right.
time I ever crowd surfed was at Guar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you get all gooey and sticky?
It was for my birthday, and it was the night before Thanksgiving. So we went to Thanksgiving.
Because they're
the next
firing
day.
off giant manufactured phalluses and all
everything.
kinds of things. Yeah.
This boob milk.
Oh,
They had a chicken there for that little bit of time. This was right after Odious died.
Yep.
It was Hail Odious.
Dave Brockie.
tour.
Yeah.
So it was, we went to Thanksgiving dinner the next day, and I still had, like, blue goop in my sideburns.
Yeah.
And, like, around the creases and, in my armpits and stuff. Yeah. It was fun, though. It was a very, very fun
That
show.
would have been 5 or 6 years ago then. Because he died in 2014, I think.
Yeah, it was that following tour, the
Yeah.
summer after that.
At the House of Blues, or where was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have more Guar tickets for you tomorrow and the rest of the week order on 420. By the way, thank you. I think some customers who texted me in the break helped me put it together about that pizza. I think it was a listener sending Stansbury a pizza.
Oh.
And they didn't realize that he wasn't in here.
Yeah, he doesn't broadcast from here.
So we could have eaten that pizza.
That used to happen to me all the time.
But
though.
I didn't know that. I mean,
well, you're the
so
worst, Alan. You just sending away free pizza.
I know that, but that's got nothing to do with the pizzas.
Some of us have been on diets and would love a piece of pizza.
Then I apologize. I
You
would have
should.
kept it, and I didn't know what kind it
Buy her
was.
a pizza right now.
I didn't
Pizza
know what
party.
kind it was. I haven't had Ramito's in a long time. That's good pizza. That's the one right up here on.
I think you're saying the wrong name. Romeo's?
No. There's Romeo's, but there's also Ramito's, which I think is up near the subway on. What's the road? It's
Brecksville Road.
Brecksville
I've
Road.
never
Yeah.
heard of Romeo's.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of little secret places over there.
Yeah, it's very good. If I'm thinking of the right place.
Well, you owe me a pizza.
I've never been to that little ice cream shop, and every time I go to that Subway down there, they're always busy. There's always kids sitting outside there. I'm like,
oh, the ice cream joint, yeah.
Yeah, they're always packed, and I'm like, I would love to get like a little ice cream sandwich back when I was eating ice cream sandwiches, but I didn't feel like.
Did you see some ice cream sandwiches? You got plenty of time.
Seriously, Cody, you don't have to be that strict right now.
Well, just have an ice cream sandwich.
Have 8 of them. Who cares?
Well, I mean, see, Bill's trying to screw you out of $200 is what he's doing.
$500. I would be screwed out of $500.
Well, yeah.
Again, I don't care. I mean, she can pay me the money. That's fine. If she wants to pay it in pennies, that's fine. But I'm going to be skinny. I'm looking forward to that.
Good for
skinny.
you.
And I can tell because this is TMI, but earlier this year when I would toss off, I could feel my stomach. Now I'm like, oh wow, it's gone down a lot. So I can tell.
Hey, whatever your measurement is, there you go.
That is my measurement because I'm like,
Fine.
my stupid stomach's in the way. Now it's like,
I have goal pants that I try on every now and then.
Well, yeah.
He has
yeah
that measurement.
My arm is not as
asking yourself. The answer is yes. I have a nickname for my penis. It's called the Octagon. But I also nicknamed my testes. My left one is James Westfall, and my right one is Dr. Kenneth Noisewater.
Mm-hmm. How many sit-ups do you think you would have to do? How many crunches would you have to do to see results?
That's not how it works.
Well, only 50.
Diet, dude. All diet. You
Abs
have
are
to-
made in the kitchen. Have you ever heard of that phrase?
Nope.
Abs are made in the kitchen.
Losing weight is
90%.
Yeah, 80% about what you eat.
Yeah.
20% about working out. You can never change your diet and still, or you
And
can
crunches
never
aren't
work out and
the
still do
most efficient way to get there anyway. You've got abs underneath the chub.
I know.
So you just got to reveal them. They will reveal themselves.
There's a picture from college that I have to find where that was the closest to me ever having abs, and I used it. My friend called me out. Fancy, matter of fact, called me out because I had it on my Grindr profile picture like back in the day.
Cody, you can't be cheating these
But
boys.
So scared, chubby wubby.
But I know, and I felt guilty for it. I was like, I totally did because I was like, my body was perfect. I was 21 years old, and I was like, wow, that's the closest I've ever been to having like a super hot bod. And I was like, well, if I just like. The only thing that looks different is maybe like my face. So if I just crop out like the top of my eyebrow, no one can see my hairline. I was like, it looks like me. And then, of course, I put it on there. Fancy was like, get that old 2012 photo out of here. Like, he messaged me. He was like, really? You're going to post a 2012? I'm like, why are you looking that hard? He was like, it's kind of hard to tell you because I see you and you don't look like that now. I'm like, God, I hate you. I just want to be a blob and watch TV.
It's hard to be realistic about how you should look, though. I had my annual checkup this morning, and everything's fine. So the doctor's just asking me how I feel in general. I go, good. I go, I'd probably like to lose about 20 pounds. And he goes, oh, no, don't do that.
Right.
And I was like, why? And he goes...
And my doctor said the same thing.
Huh?
My doctor said the same thing.
About Alan?
He said, tell Alan not to lose 20.
He said, no, don't lose 20 pounds. Lose 40.
He goes, no. I go, well, because I'm not where I want. He goes, that's different than being where you should be. Right. He goes, being where you... So it's hard to really be able to... what you see is not necessarily what should be. And I'm 51, so I'm hypercritical of that stuff now. But you also kind of have to figure out what's, yes, I can do that, but should I do that? Now, I will probably ignore my doctor's advice, and I will do that. But we'll see. We're going back to Jamaica in the spring. I got to look good.
What you going to Jamaica for?
A wedding.
How many of your friends are getting married, Bill?
They're all Gwen's friends. They're not my friends. Her friends are all marriage age.
Alan, did I tell you that
my friends are all divorce age, but I'm not getting invited to Jamaican divorce parties. So, what?
Did I tell you that I'm going to Colorado for my birthday, my 30th?
I don't know if you told me that.
I think I told Bill and Mary, but yeah, my gays...
What, are you leaving me out of things here?
Elevator talk, man. It's
I was going to say, you have to specifically avoid me. We do have a group chat, Poundcake.
I didn't put it in the group chat because
Wait, what? You're going to Jamaica?
He specifically...
No, Colorado.
Oh.
Ooh, it feels so good. We have a cabin in the woods.
Yeah!
With a bunch of Virgos, and I'm the only black... Well, actually, no, I'm not the only...
you talked about this. Yeah, black cabin in the woods. Yeah, you're right. We did talk about that. Where in Colorado?
It's a town called Florissant, Colorado. Florissant?
There's Florissant, Missouri outside. Are you sure you're not going to suburban St. Louis?
No, it's Colorado. I looked at the Airbnb, but it's a gorgeous cabin.
Oh, Florissant. Yeah, same as the town in Missouri. Florissant, Colorado. Okay. It's out by Colorado Springs. I know where that is. I've never been to Florissant, but I know where Colorado Springs is.
Yeah, so we have a cabin out there for our 30th. And
are you going to go to Pikes Peak?
Probably. They want to do, the gays want to do all types of activities. They want to do the rafting and rock climbing and hiking.
That's what Colorado is. That's why it's so awesome.
I understand. But their next assignment, I found out, is Alaska.
Dude, Alaska's awesome.
So I was like, you guys are going to live out there.
A lot of boys.
But don't they all have, STIs?
No, it's a risk you're willing to take, man.
Don't they all have STIs?
I don't think there's
a lot of military men out there.
There you go.
Get you one.
It's going to be monkeypox central by the time you get out there.
They just have to love exploring just because there is, what is it, an 8-hour flight no matter where you go? I guess the closest would be Seattle, right?
How did you fly out?
I think I changed planes in Chicago. I think I flew to Chicago and then Chicago to Anchorage.
Oh, direct from Chicago to Anchorage.
I want to say I didn't switch planes on the West Coast.
I
switched planes somewhere in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
I feel like it was, I don't even remember.
That is a long flight.
Maybe I did. I know I switched planes in Chicago to go to Hawaii. Because I was like, you mean I have a 45-minute flight and then an 11-hour flight?
Well, because Chicago's a hub, yeah.
You couldn't have figured this out.
Oh, I hate it when they do that. Yeah, you get like a 45-minute flight. But yeah, they really want to be out there. I'm like,
I think I did switch planes in Chicago because one of the things I had just signed up for my United account, and they don't give you miles outside of the U.S., and most of our flight was over Canada. Because I was like, I'm about to get all these miles flying to and from Alaska.
That's such a scam.
Most of the flight was over Canada, so those didn't count.
Oh, that's such a scam.
Yeah.
They took you by way of Saskatchewan.
And how long were you in Alaska for?
I was there for a week.
And you were doing comedy out there?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Now that is the touring lifestyle. That's pretty legit. A week.
Yeah, dude.
You made good money?
It's really pretty. No, I was there for a comedy festival, so I didn't make any money. But I met some good people and had a lot of fun and got to see Alaska.
It's just burned in my brain the fact that you said they have their own brand of STD.
They did. Super gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Condoms everywhere.
Yep.
They're like, this is just for Alaska. We know you're initiated.
That was in our welcome pack to the comedy festival. They're like, hey, we know how comics are. If you're going to get drunk and bang the locals, please wear a condom because...
Guys, it's kind of like the Olympics out here.
Right.
Just be careful. Oh, there you go. Maybe you'll go out there and you'll find...
I'm never coming back.
You find
right.
a real... Two types of bears.
I'm like, y'all pay me to live out here? Okay.
Bears and... Yeah, he goes... Whale watching is what they might call it.
There's a bunch of bears out here. Bear minimum's great.
Mama Moose.
Mm-hmm. This Saturday, you might have seen, has been declared MGK Day. Machine Gun Kelly, of course, doing that big old show at First Energy Stadium. We gave away tickets for it last week, as a matter of fact. Now, I don't think this is any kind of mayoral proclamation, but they're doing a whole bunch of things down there at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2:30.
I know, I'm making
Wow, they carved out a whole 3.5 hours for him. Well, for me, the high point is they're going to have the bands that won the Tri-C High School Rock-Off play. That's the fun part.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? Cool. Seeing Scarlet is the band that won this year. Detention won in 2020. Montage, Lil G Fresh. Yeah, that's the fun part. But they're going to be doing all kinds of stuff down there. Fun for the entire family. When you think Machine Gun Kelly, you think
Bring the kids.
Fun for the entire family. Right. So, yeah. If you're an MGK fan, you look for something to do, that is going on downtown Saturday.
Yeah, probably.
At the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Plaza there.
I have yet to go to his coffee shop down there.
27 Club.
He has a coffee shop down there?
Yeah, but it's
I
not.
thought he opened it in the flats. It's down by the Rock Hall?
No, it's in the flats.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but it's all just a hop, skip, and a jump.
I like how they point out that he
No,
makes his
it's not.
own custom microphone stands. Are the ones that other people are making not good enough?
Well, he likes them to be pink, so they match his microphone. He's got the whole pink thing going right now.
You could probably buy a pink microphone
He
stand.
likes to make them himself.
I
That's
see.
great.
Does he bedazzle them?
I don't know.
Does he put like those sticky... my daughter watches a lot of Glittercraft videos on YouTube, so we went to Michael's over the weekend, and now I'm full on into the world of like epoxy and things like that, right? And molds, and this is what she's into right now. Perhaps I'll suggest that she make a custom microphone stand, and then I'll
Sell
send
it to him.
to Colson. No, I'll give it to him. I'll sell it to him.
I keep forgetting you're rich.
Don't forget that, Mary.
I know, I'm
Stop
sorry.
forgetting that I'm rich.
Sorry, I'm not. So it's hard to.
Why do you think I have lobster food fights at my house?
I understand.
Stuffed with kiwi, Mary.
Epoxy money.
Sometimes I'll stuff the kiwi with lobster.
That's interesting.
That's a bit of my own little culinary subterfuge, because you never see that one coming. You go, ooh, I love fruit salad. Then you cut open that kiwi. Guess what's inside?
Lobster.
Lobster. Yeah. You ever had a kiwi coated in drawn butter?
No. Same little fork.
Yeah. You know how much money I've spent on little forks?
Probably too much.
It is embarrassing to tell you.
More than my salary.
More than your celery. That's right. I don't know how much your celery costs,
You
but
can
I
guess.
have purchased many, many small forks. I've purchased a lot of big forks. You wouldn't believe, if you were to look in my kitchen, the array of fork sizes that I own. Why? Because I can. Because that's how well off I am. Everybody goes, I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to buy a plane.
You buy, and you say, go fork yourself.
Various fork sizes.
Bought an array of forks. And the thing is, people go, oh, big deal. There's 3 fork sizes. That's how much you know, because you don't have any money. See, the secret information in the fork community is that you kind of have to have, if you'll pardon the pun, your entree into the fork community is you have to be at a certain tax bracket. And then they go, there's all these different size forks.
Yeah. That's why they call you Sir Latab.
Yeah, that's right.
You'd like that.
That's why they call me that. If you've ever wondered why people call me that, when they're not calling me Captain Fun, they're calling me Sir Latab. That's right. Not only that, not just the sizes, the number of tines on the fork.
Usually
Everybody
3.
else is walking around. The tiny ones have 3. Standard have 4, right? Here I am. You come over to dinner at Casa Cox. You're chowing down with a 9-tine fork. All right?
How does it fit in your mouth?
Carefully.
Yeah. Unhinged
Carefully.
like a snake.
Yes. Carefully.
To eat a dumpling? You're not serving dumplings.
No.
What do you
No.
put on your 9-tine fork?
Whatever I want. It fits anything.
Doesn't.
That's why it's so good. I don't have to.
Stabbing whole melons.
Yeah. Right. Now, everybody is well aware of how I eat, right? I don't gorge myself on things, so it might seem silly to have forks that large. And that's the point. It's because I can. Alan, what would you do with that fork? Nothing. I let it sit there. I have a woman who polishes them.
Just call her Gwen.
Gwen didn't polish my forks. Euphemistically, she polishes my fork.
Unhappy man.
She does. Yeah!
It's got tines here.
9 of them.
That's the
9 tines. By the way, and then I'll move on here. This might be boring to a lot of people, but I think it's very impressive. The new CEO of Playhouse Square. Did you get this press release?
I don't think I did.
They announced this morning the Playhouse Square here in Cleveland, Ohio. The new president and chief executive is a guy named Craig Hassall. They got him from Royal Albert Hall in London, which is a very storied venue.
Wow.
Clapton's recorded live. A ton of people have recorded live albums at Royal Albert Hall. He is coming to Cleveland after finishing the London Christmas season. This guy has been with Cirque du Soleil. He was part of the Olympic Games in Sydney and London. He was part of Opera Australia. I don't know anything about this guy other than what's in this press release, but that seems like a big deal. That whoever's going to be running Playhouse Square, which they love to crow about here in Cleveland.
It's great.
They love to talk about how it's the, what do they say?
Crow-worthy.
It's the second largest
theater district
in America.
Second
by square feet.
to
Omaha, Nebraska's Playhouse Rhombus. So I just thought that was, usually those press releases are pretty boring, but I think that sounds like a big deal, that they got the guy who was running Royal Albert Hall. Now, this is not to be confused with Albert Hall, who's just a regular guy, lives over in Parma Heights. He'll email us.
He's not royal.
He's not royal. Well, I mean, to the best of my knowledge, he is not, but he will email us.
He'll never be royal.
As soon as I can learn how to run a computer, I am starting an online petition to have Alan Cox taken off the air. So help me God, I'm having him taken off the air.
The Alan Cox Show
On 100.7
WMMS.
$35192. You want to send me a text? Guardians live in a little over an hour. Guardians are back on the field tonight. They took last night off. And a decent run against the Astros. They start up at Comerica Park tonight against the Tigers, 7-10. It's the first of 3, and then they head up to Toronto to play the Blue Jays the remainder of the week, and then they'll come back home to play the Tigers next week. If you listen to us on iHeartRadio from out of state, tell me where. Rodney is a bureau chief in Dallas. Jeff listens in Grafton, Massachusetts. Ryan's in San Diego. Nick is our chief science correspondent out in Seattle. Nathan is in Cincinnati. Did Nathan come out to your shows?
I don't think so.
Probably would have known, because, boy, when Nathan from Cincinnati walks in the room,
everybody's like, oh, there's Nathan.
There's Nathan from Cincinnati.
You know what I did do while I was down there? I did meet Rachel Elliott.
Oh, yeah.
She came out to a show.
Yeah.
How
did that go?
That was great. She's very kind.
Very nice. Kind. She's
very nice lady.
Mm-hmm. A nice lady? You make her sound like she's 65 years old.
Well, what am I supposed to?
I don't know.
We work together.
No, you don't.
We work on the same station. We work for the same company.
So
I have a girlfriend. What am I supposed to say?
Girlfriend, right. I keep forgetting about the girlfriend.
Yeah, girlfriend.
See, before there were all those butthole pictures on Instagram, and that would constantly remind me. Now I forget.
Different girl.
What's the new one's hook, bud? Did she have a hook?
No. Oh. We like each other a lot.
Well, that's always the case. Yeah. But, I mean, you're not dating anybody you don't like. But
I just get along very well.
Okay, good.
But, yeah, Rachel Elliott, good time.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about the biz a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's from up here.
Okay.
And then she went out to Chicago.
Yep.
And then ended up in Cincinnati.
What'd she do there?
That's where she went to school.
Where'd she go?
DePaul. That's the one.
Okay.
DePaul.
How'd she end up in Cincinnati?
That's where a job was offered to her.
Oh, okay.
So she has been there, and she likes it.
Good.
And she does stuff for us as well on MMS.
Mm-hmm. You mean us? That's how she pronounces it. Yeah, W us. Yeah, that's her thing. Listen, everybody's got. I was explaining regional dialects and regional twangs to my daughter last night. She's working on accents.
Enthralling conversation.
Well, she's working on accents. Yeah. And so I said, well,
did you record some of her accents? I hope so.
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, I want to hear. What accents is she working on?
I'll wait until they're more refined.
Okay, all right.
Well, she's waiting on a southern accent because I told her that's what her grandfather sounded like when he first moved up to Illinois.
Hi, y'all. It's Nora.
Yeah, it's a little bit broader than that. Right now, Lord, this, I said, no, it's just a little bit lazy. It's not, And she's working on, every kid has a Peppa Pig phase. Hers is way behind her. She's more into Bluey now, but every kid at some point tries the British thing, and that's not real strong with her right now.
Now, which one's Bluey?
Bluey's this Australian cartoon about a family of blue healers. That's like the big cartoon of the moment. It's called Bluey.
Right.
And season 3 premieres tomorrow night, I believe. And there are myriad parents listening right now who know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's cute because as opposed to a lot of these other cartoons, I think it's a little bit more rooted in reality, Like I think there's an episode where they take a hurt animal to the vet and it dies. Rather than it miraculously flies away at the end.
Now we're talking.
That's what I'm saying. So
let's kill some pets.
Kill some pets.
Let the TV teach the children about death, so we don't have to do it.
Yeah, she didn't really have a problem with death.
But she doesn't.
Well, not until I go. God, Gwen gets so mad when I do math in front of our daughter. She'll go, oh, that person's 23. And I go, Dad's going to be 68 when you're... Or I'll refer to myself as an old dad, and she'll just look at Gwen and be like, what is he talking about? And Gwen will give me the icy stare. Mm-hmm. I go, I'm sorry.
You're preparing her for it.
I'm always doing math. I'm an old dad. I'm like, I'm not old, but I'm an old dad. There aren't other dads my age at the first grade. I'm the old dad. So, Huh?
It's your fault.
Do you give advice?
To whom?
Like to the younger dads?
No.
Like, that are struggling. They're like, oh, man.
They're doing fine. They're no. What am I going to say?
I didn't know if they come to you for, like, you're a vet. Like, you've been through this.
No, I've talked to people who don't even know I have older kids. Because they only see me at elementary school, right? They don't know. You're like, your relationship extends to saying hi to them when you're dropping your kid off or whatever. When we were in Jersey, that was a family house. My wife's stepmom's family owns that house, and so some of the other people, they're all relatives of, and we all kind of know each other. They didn't know I had older kids.
Right.
So, no, trust me, no one in their right mind would ask me for parenting advice, nor would I give it.
The older kids you have, I thought that was a bit this whole time.
It is a bit, but I'm trying to get everybody to go along with it, Bill.
You're going to ruin it.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, my bad.
You ruined it.
Oh, I stepped all over that one.
Yeah, right. So, yeah. No, I would never. No one asks me for advice.
You don't have any, fans amongst, the carpool dads?
Yeah, I do. Sure. Okay. But they don't. They don't even ask me about the show because I think they feel weird about it, and that's just fine with me. I'm happy to talk about it if somebody wants to. I've heard through the grapevine on a couple of occasions be like, well, he doesn't really want to be that guy, so he doesn't want to ask you. I go, that's totally fine. I know them now, so you can, but those aren't the kind of conversations.
You hear that, guys? The floodgates are open.
No, they're just
anything you want about the show.
They're
make it the topic of conversation anytime you see him.
It's not even that ship has sailed. It's no, it's there's we have a handful of friends that we can hang out with and talk about stuff. But most of the dads, they're surface conversations, and that's fine. That's what I excel at.
You don't surf,
huh?
What?
Surface, Mary, not surfing conversations.
It's about Microsoft tablets.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello, Bill.
Hey, who's this?
Bill? Bill. Bill is what I mean.
Okay. You know, the music should give it away.
What music?
Don't worry about it. How you doing?
I'm okay, Bill. I'm so sad, though.
Why are you so sad?
Because I heard you're leaving the radio.
No,
and
no.
I have to tell you, you were the only reason that I listened to that God-forsaken... I hesitate to use any kind of expletives, Bill.
That's good.
But that show you're on, it sucks, Bill.
Well, you know, I'm not actually leaving the radio. We're just moving to a different studio.
What?
Yeah.
Bill, I wish you had told me that before.
Why? What'd you do?
I sold my house, Bill.
How'd you sell your house?
Because it's a seller's market.
Well, you'll still be able to listen to the radio even without a house.
Not if you're not on it, Bill. What? Oh, no.
How much did you sell your house for, if you don't mind me asking?
$17,000.
And how much did you pay for it?
I got so much money for it, Bill.
That's pretty good. Depending on how much you paid for it. How much did you pay for it?
$435,000.
Ooh, you are a little underwater there.
I took what is I don't know a lot about real estate, but I took what is referred to as a loss.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I just don't understand why you would sell your house.
Because I sold my house and everything in it, Bill, because you were going to be off the radio and I didn't know what to do.
But I'm not going to be off the radio. Even when I travel, I still try to find a way to be on the radio.
When do you travel, Bill?
I was just in Cincinnati last week.
Who?
I was in the city of Cincinnati, not a person named Cincinnati.
I've never heard of it, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Well, now I gotta find a place to live.
Do you think you could be a roommate with Poundcake? I think he could use an extra roommate. You guys could share a bed together, right?
No.
Bill, I even have a better idea.
What's that?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Bill?
Rob a bank?
Don't you have room where you live, Bill?
No. No.
You don't have any room, Bill?
Not even a little bit.
I mean, I do take up a lot of space, but I sold all my possessions, so I don't have anything to do.
Well, why don't you take all the money you made and use that to rent an apartment or something?
I made $17,000, Bill.
That's enough to rent an apartment.
I guess, but I'm looking for a new house now.
Well, you can use that for a down payment.
How about if I just stay with you for a little bit?
I don't think that's a good idea. I think we should keep this professional, where you're the listener and I'm the guy on the radio.
You would still be professional, Bill.
I don't think you living with me is professional. I'm sorry. I gotta put boundaries down. I can't just invite any customer that is homeless into my house.
How many? So I'm just another customer to you, Bill. How many?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The bitch is getting pissed. About to lose your teeth, Bill.
What happened?
I think she hung up.
Oh.
Or her phone got taken because she sold everything. Oh no.
I'm just another customer.
Keep my car. That was an interesting Wilhelmina call. That went in different directions than normally goes.
I stepped out to have a whiz, Bill. What happened?
So this lady that calls on the show, she's a big fan of mine. Also likes the entire show. She didn't say anything about the entire show.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good. I like to hit people
said,
where they live.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
She said...
Well, she doesn't, actually.
Well, hold on. I'll get there. So she misunderstood the fact that she thought we were going to be off the radio. She didn't understand that we were just moving to a new studio. And so she sold her home that she paid $400,000 for $17,000.
Oh, no.
And all her possessions.
What a terrible, terrible deal.
Right, a pretty bad deal, and also a pretty odd thing to do without having all the information.
Mm-hmm.
But and then she asked if she could come live with me. And
You
I
know
said,
how many people
no.
go off half-cocked, Bill.
Yep.
Oh, half-cocked.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, she asked if she could move in with me, and I said no. And then Poundcake started laughing at her, and she hung up.
Oh, no.
Well,
Poundcake laughed right in her face.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He's very mean.
But that's him. He's spiteful.
He laughs at other people's misfortune.
He does. He considers his... we've already established that he has no concept of what the nature of a compliment should be. Something as simple as a compliment to him in his hands can turn into a loaded weapon.
I know what a compliment is. And then when I got a big load, I go put it in there.
Then give each one of us a compliment.
Oh, no.
Poundcake style.
Jars. Okay, we'll start with Mary.
You can't even do it.
You are a beautiful bitch.
Thanks.
See, he's doing shtick.
Mm-hmm.
You need to try giving her a compliment.
She is very smart. I can always go to her for...
Like I said, stop doing shtick.
I am. She's very smart. I can always go to her...
Come on, say something real.
I can always go to her for advice. She's very welcoming, and she's pretty. She's pretty enough to have an OnlyFans.
Does he go to you for advice?
I do.
I'm pretty enough to have an OnlyFans. You hear that?
You have... Oh, I was going to say you have feet on there. That's not OnlyFans.
Thank you,
She's pretty enough to have... Yeah, okay. Bill, he's selfless. He's funny.
I got funny.
I didn't
you
get
get
it
funny.
It's okay.
You remind me of...
That's enough. I don't need any more.
Okay.
Yeah, how did he whiff on funny for you?
All right. He doesn't think I am.
Oh,
Comedy is
okay.
subjective. It's
I'll
fine.
tell you what. Seriously.
Well, she's...
All right, so those are compliments.
don't
He did
walk
some
it back.
compliments.
Wait, he has to do Alan.
No, he doesn't have to do me.
Yes, he does.
No, he's my subordinate. I don't need him complimenting me.
Your swoop is...
Shut up, Poundcake.
Okay.
Your swoop.
Swoop.
You do have a swoop.
Shut up, Poundcake.
One fatal swoop. So, Bill is funny. You're...
And selfless.
Selfless. Why? Because you picked him up a couple times?
No,
Is that where he's getting that?
He raised 2 kids on his... not on his own.
I raised all
that,
3 of them, stupid.
Okay. 3 kids. That weren't his.
You have kids? Huh.
I did, I guess.
And Mary is very kind-hearted. Yeah. She's great. I can always go to her for advice.
Listen to how hard it is for him to get out compliments, though.
It is. It's very difficult.
No, I'm good. I'm just...
I can always go to her for advice.
I can.
But you can go to anyone for advice.
But
it's the quality of the advice
She
that's
gives
the
good
important-
advice.
Do you take it?
Yes. Especially about my diet.
Why is she shaking her head?
Does he take it?
In disagreement.
No, of course not.
No, he doesn't take it.
It's okay, though. I'm glad you feel comfortable talking to me.
Well, you're not obligated to take anyone's advice,
No.
obviously.
I was waiting for, the backhanded, regular Cody compliments. Your teeth look good because they used to be jacked. It's like,
I don't ever remember.
You're a snaggletooth bitch.
you ain't no more, though. I'm just saying.
Well, no, that's why I didn't want him doing shtick. But,
That's not what I
again,
wanted.
you were a snaggletooth bitch.
Yes, I was.
And then you got your things
She was
going.
a snaggletooth person.
Sorry, person. Snaggletooth person.
Thank you.
That was sometimes bitchy.
But it was mostly because of the alcohol.
And then you were like, I got to fix this.
Uh-huh.
I need my glow up.
Uh-huh.
And that's where that came from.
Uh-huh.
And over the years, she's gotten very good on the radio.
Yeah. I
More
am.
slamming doors.
Better? I can have a conversation.
Yup.
Yes. Mhm. Right. Lots of skills.
She's like Onyx up in this bitch. She's like, let the boys be boys.
Just laugh. We want to make some noise. Just laugh. They can only get the children laugh. We want to make some noise. Just laugh.
Big slamming doors, big slamming doors, big like she runs. I know. I'm just trying, I'm trying to do a show. Bitch slamming doors, bitch slamming doors, bitch slamming doors.
I just remember that day because she just came in she tried to not draw any attention to herself, and in doing that, she drew the most attention to herself. I was like, why
For
is
the
it?
last time, I had
The handle
lotion
slipped
on
out of
my
her hand.
No, I kicked it shut. But I only used my foot because I had lotion.
I thought it slipped out of your hand.
It did
What
not.
made it so
I
funny?
kicked it.
What made it so funny is because I've been in that spot many times where it's like, don't draw any attention to yourself. Try to sneak in quietly. See, it's usually with a fart. I'm like, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out quietly. It's gonna come out quietly, and then
Do your fart noise again. It's a new sound. Even your farts sound like your face.
That is gross. They sound like my face?
Yeah, like the way you, like, that would be a pound cake fart.
It sounds like my face, okay.
Call the Alan Cox Show.
Is that what you want to do? Think about it, Alan. Once divorced and a broken man.
216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
$35192. Want to send a text? AlanCoxShow.com. Thank you to Flory Denog. There it is in black and white for helping out in the video department today. Who knows what will happen to all of our video assistants when we move downtown. 1 week from today will be our first live show in the new studios downtown.
I got to figure out how to get Poundcake on camera. That's going to be tricky.
Yeah. Now we'll figure it out.
I'm going to figure it out tonight.
Guardians will play tonight. They had last night off. They will start up in Detroit against the Tigers, 7:10 tonight here at MMS. So we'll roll out around 6:30, and then right around 6:40 is when that pregame coverage will begin. If you listen to us on iHeartRadio, because you can listen to the Guardians games if you're in town, you can listen to them on the app. If you listen to us outside Cleveland, tell me where. Norm is one of our bureau chiefs in Detroit. Deborah listens in Pittsburgh. Jesse's in Castle Rock, Colorado. Robin is in Elkhart, Indiana. Anybody know what Elkhart, Indiana is famous for?
There's a college there.
The RV.
It is the RV capital of the United States.
Yeah, college of hard knocks.
Is that the college that's there?
Are you all right?
There's a college there. Are you all right?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too.
Just a little.
You're still licking your wounds over that lack of a pound cake compliment.
Yeah, I'm very sad. So I have to start talking like him. A college.
There's a college there. You are a ass. I've been getting messages from people all day long asking what I think about Mar-a-Lago getting raided. And I don't know what you want me to say about Mar-a-Lago getting raided.
Well, listen, Alan, you don't talk enough politics, and when you do, you should stop. So
that's what Political Joe says. That's what Political Joe says. How come you don't ever stop talking about? How come you don't stop? It is funny, though, I will say, to see the complete 180. All of a sudden, the Republicans hate law enforcement.
Well, that always happens when they do that from time to time, you know.
Yeah. There's like a state rep in Florida who said that they should start arresting FBI agents on site. Like, you just see one out in the wild. Yeah, arrest that person.
Do they advertise the fact that they work for the FBI?
I mean, you wear those windbreakers.
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's still very early, and I don't think anybody knows what's going on.
Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Well, that's not true.
Ain't nothing gonna happen. They would have got him by now.
It's not true that nothing's going to happen. But everything in MAGA world is smoke and mirrors. Everything's one big grift. So that's why Ron DeSantis is constantly whining that gun-free zones are less safe, but bans firearms at his events. Because the message is, guns are great for schools, just not for governors. Laura Ingram's over there on Fox News saying, when we get power back, we're going to hold everyone accountable. We're going to gut the military, So this whole, they hate law enforcement as soon as there's even the mere notion of accountability. They're the party of revenge. By the way, you think they'd be happy about this? Because they wanted to lock Hillary Clinton up over document security. You think they would be over the moon at all of these classified documents being secured once more. I don't know where all that happiness is over there. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, and frankly, that some people smarter than I will figure it out.
I hope they were filming. I just hope they were filming.
Filming?
Yeah.
Filming what?
The whole thing.
For posterity?
Yeah,
I mean,
they had a documentary in the future.
They had like drones and helicopters flying over his place. But again, they did the same thing to Rudy Giuliani's place. Like they raided his apartment. Like I feel like that was like 2 years ago.
But we've also become inured to the whole thing. Like it's not, they go, this is unprecedented. Yeah, because it's Trump. If they raided Obama's house, oh my God, it would be a massive. It would be a huge shock, but it's Trump. So people go, yeah, he's a traitor and a criminal. There's zero surprises here. People are so used to it that when they go, the home of a former president was raided by the FBI, under any other circumstances, you'd be like, oh my God, that's like a big deal.
But what probable cause did they have, though? I don't like that
because
either, that they're just popping up and raiding people's place.
They're not popping up.
They did pop up.
They informed the Secret Service because it was public information that he had taken classified documents to Mar-a-Lago.
Allegedly.
They're in his house in the boxes. That's a crime. They didn't just show up and go, like they informed Secret Service.
Hello, we're bored. May we come in your home?
Right. This is all by the book. All by the book. What's not by the book is taking classified documents to your house. So, no, this is not just them going, let's just go and... So, yeah, I don't know. Now, to pivot slightly, if you think that the greatest... That
was a nice pivot.
Slight pivot, honestly.
If you think... I don't know what's going on to pivot.
Pivot!
If you think that the greatest threat to gay rights is the Republican Party, you'd be wrong. It's the Bachelorette Party. Because Bachelorette parties, as we have all come to know, will ruin any place they're in. You've had them at comedy shows. Anytime Poundcake had mentioned Provincetown not long ago, or I did, or somebody did, I don't know. But Provincetown was a huge gay community on the East Coast. That bachelorette parties are ruining LGBTQ areas. They say it's akin to gentrification. You know how gentrification works, right? A different community comes in, starts to drive rental prices up and things like that. It's an appropriation
Put in a Jamba Juice.
Put in a Jamba Juice. And so they're complaining about bachelorette parties essentially destroying the locations.
This is such a gay problem.
It is. It is very much so, yes. But it's still funny to consider. They're like, look, these women come in, and one woman referred to it as a Will and Grace complex. Bachelorette parties that come in and just scream Cher lyrics and yell, "Yes, Queen," and they think that that's, whatever.
No, I would actually hate it.
I'm sure they do. But what I'm saying is, if you are an owner of one of these places, you're in a weird spot because you don't want to drive out your regular customers. But you also don't want a big party's a big party. You know, you're there to make money.
But the gay, you have to think as a business owner, what group of people is more loyal? And it's going to be the gays. The gay.
But how many times is that girl going to get married? She'll get married a few times, and she's going to come back for the second and third bachelorette party.
It doesn't matter. The gays come year round. They rent homes out there, so the gays still win. There was a story of this. I feel like it was a Twitter thread or a TikTok of it was a group of girls who just loved being around gays so much they actually invaded a gay cruise ship. It was a gay cruise line, and they're like, the things that we saw. I'm like, I don't like that because you know what you're setting yourself up for. It's going to be pretty much a huge orgy, and then you're going to go there and judge. And we don't like that either. This is like our space.
Well, to your point, this is a this is a problem very specific to a very specific community. Nevertheless, it is their community. And they're like, look, it's just a matter of trying to inform people because these bachelorette parties... You know, this isn't the flats. This is Provincetown. So you got like college-educated, well-off, need I say, all white girls. And they're like, they're not homophobic. They want to be respectful. But you put some drinks in them and they're grabbing guys' asses or they're taking selfies in front of the leather daddies. And, you know, one guy's like, this is not a queer zoo. So it's a matter of concern for people there that bachelorette parties. I'm just happy that our gay brothers and sisters have finally come around to what we in the cis community have known for a long, long time. That bachelorette parties are a scourge. Like Bill said, locusts. And they call them hen parties, I think, over in the UK. I always enjoy that. Hen parties.
Hen party.
Right. Hence the term, a hen-pecked husband.
Oh.
You get married, that hen who had her party but is now married is constantly pecking at him. You don't hen-peck your boyfriend, do you?
I don't think so.
Does he think so?
I don't know, probably.
I feel like I'm asking the wrong person.
We did get into an argument about on the way home from Chicago, we got into an argument about a hypothetical vacation we were going to take.
Why would you get into an argument over a hypothetical vacation? You're supposed to get into arguments on the vacation.
Well, we were talking about the other places we want to go. And I was saying, like, my bucket list places like Australia and Italy and to go back to Hawaii. And he doesn't have that part of his brain. His brain immediately went to, well, we can't afford those vacations.
How much will it cost? Right.
You're talking multiple several $1,000 vacations.
But you're also talking... Well, I thought you were talking like a thing next year.
Right. Well, no, we were just talking about places we would want to go for future vacations.
Over the course of what we hope will be long lives together.
Correct.
Right? What's the problem with that?
I got in trouble for not being realistic.
In trouble?
I did. Where he's like, we can't do that. We have a kid. We have to think about our future. Blah, blah. He's going on and on. And I was like, okay, but we both work really hard. And I think it's ridiculous.
And in 10 years, by the way, she's going to be driving. So he's really only got a few more years with her before she won't give a rat's ass what he's doing.
Well, I mean, his whole thing is setting her up financially. His parents set him up financially. He wants her to be 100% set up financially. So to him, that means we don't get to have any fun.
Oh,
until then.
He's trying to be. He's trying to set up generational wealth.
Yes.
You got to cut him loose and let him see what they can do.
He doesn't believe in that at all.
What?
Sink and swim.
Sink and swim. Yes, exactly. You sink and then you swim.
All I will
underwater while you're swimming.
As the father of two older children, I will say this: that I wouldn't say I didn't coddle my kids. They didn't grow up with me. I mean, they didn't live with me. But here's what I will say. Is that when your child but I, out of guilt and out of obligation and all these other things, I mean, I wanted to take care of them too.
Yeah.
They've never wanted for anything, right? Here's the thing. When your child is 6 and 7, you look at them and you go, I don't ever want to say no to you, ever. Mm-hmm. I want to give you everything you ever wanted.
Right.
But then they get a little bit older and you go, but I also want you to be like a confident, functioning person in the world that doesn't need me. Yeah. That's ultimately what you want.
Right.
For you not to need me. And
he wants to do that, but he also has
That's not the way to do it.
He also has a set dollar amount that he will not be happy slowing down his work until he hits that dollar amount. And when he does...
For her?
For her. A set dollar amount to give to her on the day that she graduates. Go to college, buy a house, do whatever you want to do with this amount of money. Because that's what his parents did for him.
I mean, that's very nice, but...
But this is what started our hypothetical fight, is that we can't afford to go to places like Italy, Australia, or Hawaii.
Yeah, but if his parents handed him a bunch of money, why is he so stingy?
I don't know.
Huh.
I think it's not a stingy thing. It's he wants to do the same thing for his daughter. So he knows
He wants to pay it forward.
how much that money helped him to get off, get on his feet and kind of set up the life that he currently has.
Huh.
So he wants to do that for his daughter as well. And because he wants to do that, I am stupid for wanting to go to Australia or Italy one day.
I'm stupid.
Not to be in his business or anything like that, but is he not getting help equally from like the mom?
Oh, it doesn't matter. This isn't about the mom. This is about him. This is
Okay.
something he wants to do.
He's
for
a grown
his
man
daughter.
now. Yeah,
Right,
I understand.
right.
He has one child.
Right.
Yes.
So we got not into it, but I was like, I can't believe that we're arguing about this right now. She's 6. You have 12 years to put away this money, and I'm getting yelled at for a vacation I might want to take in 3 or 4.
Oh, I was going to say you're not going to wait until she's 18 to take these trips.
No. But that's what he's saying, is that we can have fun once we're retired. Once everybody's done working.
Once that's taken care of.
This was the fight. This was the fight that we had, is because I was like, I don't want to wait until you're 70 and I'm 65 to go start doing stuff. That's ridiculous.
Well, there are those two schools of thought. There's people that look, I don't know when I'm going to die. Let's have some fun now.
That's how I am.
Which I fully understand. There's also the other half of the brain that's like, the last thing I want, because life can explode in a moment's notice.
Right.
Last thing you want is to have come back from an expensive trip and find half your house burned down,
Right.
or whatever extreme situation you come up with.
He lives his life in those extreme situations.
Understood.
We need to buy off-brand toilet paper because the house might burn down. So let's save this 48 cents now. Otherwise,
What if the house caught on fire because of subpar toilet
Right.
paper?
Yeah, right. Spontaneously combusted.
Sir, this is what we call a single-ply inferno, all right? I'm sorry to break it to you. Did Anne Heche drive through your living room? Because it looks like...
No, Angel Soft, actually.
Angels. You know them cartoon bears? Yeah, they didn't do me any favors.
So yeah, I'd say he's probably the hen pecker.
So how did the but that sounds like a conversation where you're being told there's no wiggle room. Not let's figure this out, but
I'm being told I'm frivolous and that I don't have a kid to worry about the same way he does. So I don't think the same way he does because I don't have a child.
well, two things can be true at the same time. That is true, doesn't make you frivolous.
Right. He's like, you're used to doing whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it, and that's great. But I can't live my life like that. And I was like, yeah, but if I have...
But I also don't hear you asking him to live like a single guy with no attachments.
No, this is me wanting to go to Italy.
Well, again, that's expensive.
It's
on the other side of the city.
It's the exact
Come
same
on.
thing. They couldn't call it Little Italy if it wasn't exactly like Italy.
He'll go, have you seen the price of gas? That's money I got to set aside. I can't go to Little Italy. Well, because Gwen and I are starting to talk about where we want to go for our 10th anniversary is next year.
I'll plan it for you.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. And so
Duluth,
we're
Minnesota.
Have you heard of it?
We're having conversations about places we want to go. Now, our daughter will not come with us.
Right.
It'll be us.
Yeah, it's your anniversary.
Right. But those are...
You want me to send her to Duluth?
Yes.
Who?
They
Your
want a
daughter.
vacation in Bay Village.
Yeah.
Send the daughter to Duluth.
Duluth.
She's going to have a good time there.
Well, why are you all pro Duluth, by the way?
It's
just because they make underwear you like.
It's just a very nice Minnesota gem.
Alan, Italy is completely doable on a fairly simple budget. You just need to plan well.
Not if you have one kid.
Well, all three of you would go.
No.
You too would go.
Yes.
Is that a sticking point or no? Okay. What I would say is, if you plan it out, Europe can be very affordable.
I understand that.
Yeah, and you don't have to stay in a youth hostel or anything.
I know.
mean, Now, when you're with Mr. Nine Tines over here,
Only the best 4 seasons.
when you're with Joe Comfork,
I have no desire to go to Italy or France. The only place I want to go I want to go to England, and I want to go to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Those are the ones Now, if I go to those, I might as well go to the others because it's not
all
that far.
right there.
It's a train trip right there. Yeah.
Switzerland's like the one that I really want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother-in-law's been. She goes on a lot of those, like, trips with friends and things like that. She's gone to the Alps. And Gwen's been more places than I have been. She's been to Italy and all that kind of stuff. I've been to a handful of places. But, I mean, I didn't even really travel before Gwen.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't travel growing up. My parents hated to travel. But you could absolutely do something like that.
We just the only disagreements we ever have are about money. We see money so differently. Like it's 180-degree differences on money. And hey, man, it works for you. You do what you do, and you got to live your life the way you want to live it, and that's fine. But at the same time, there was nuggets of truth to what he was saying, where it is like, I have never had to take anyone else into consideration in almost any decision I have ever made, where I can 95% of my life I've been able to do whatever the hell I want to do whenever I want to do it. Right. So I understand his point of concern. Like, hey, I can't just drop $8,000 on a vacation to Italy for 2 weeks. Like, this isn't feasible.
Can you just pay for it?
He's not comfortable with that kind of stuff because I've offered things like that before where I was like, I'll pay for all of it. He's like, no, that's not fair. I was like, well, you don't want to go.
But if it means we can go.
Right.
Is he afraid of flying?
You can go Newark to Rome for $500.
Now I'm getting text messages from him. He's very upset. You're making me sound like an ass. You got it all wrong.
Oh, well, that's good.
Apparently.
That's some wiggle room
So we
then.
were arguing because you wanted to take back-to-back trips to Italy and Hawaii, which is not true. I never said I wanted to go to both places in the same year.
And why would you sit back to back? That sounds uncomfortable. One of you got leg room, the other one doesn't.
Well, it's just the way that the planes are set up.
Oh,
we got to take
yeah.
a certain flight
Yeah,
because of
those European
miles, and
ones. Virgin.
they're
Yeah, I get
ridiculous.
it.
But
So wait, now I don't know.
I don't know who. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I'm trying to believe women and
Twisting
then
my mind into a
are a
pretzel.
liar, apparently.
Women. What it comes down to
Mi
is
spiace.
we don't see money the same. So things like
Yeah, she is kind of being a biatchy.
yeah, things like hypothetical vacations start arguments.
All right.
Well, then you share with us, and it starts a whole new argument.
It's
That's
perfect.
fun.
Because then he's like, you make me sound, every time he has something to say every day, you make me sound like such a curmudgeon. You make me sound like such an ass. I'm like, well, maybe it'll make you see things from a different point of view, Brian.
Hypothetical vacation is at the Beachland Ballroom tomorrow night. They're doing an acoustic set.
And now I must leave you as the Brady Bunch is on, and I find 4 of those children incredibly arousing.